What is up, everybody? I'm Luke, and I'm very, very tired because it's been a pretty exhausting weekend. Had a lot packed into a very short amount of time, and today just flew right by as well. Stayed a little late for work, came home, immediately went to yard work, and my yard was an absolute jungle. It is not anymore, but it was, and that pretty much took me to going and making a late Taco Bell run, and I scarfed down some food and I'm here. Totally feels like I just woke up, but that's how time works when you're really busy. And that's essentially where I've been the last few days. I went to a concert. It was the first concert I've been to in almost like a year. So that was really cool to see. Got to see Amorphous live. The first time they came through, I didn't get to see their full set. So I was really excited to go see them live and kind of get the full experience. And it ended up being about like 5 or 6 hours of standing in place with only like maybe, I don't know, 15-minute break of sitting down. So I was exhausted from that. And then Sunday, I just kind of chilled and hung out and recouped a little bit. This week, we'll be doing some alpha shiny hunting today, tomorrow. And then I will be doing Breath of the Wild on Wednesday, and I'm saying that now and committing to it. We'll be doing some fitness dice, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Thursday will be continue to be an off day, and then I will be going back to Coliseum on Friday. So I am sorry I have not been around for a minute or two, but I'm here now, and I'm excited to be here. Cryptid, welcome to the stream. It was a good break, and like it definitely was needed. Because between work and then streaming, like I was getting really worn down very quickly and I wasn't sleeping all that great. Something that I'm going to try to commit to is keeping streams to like 3 hours. There were some nights that I was going like 5 or 6 just because like chat was bumping. I was pumped up and like we got some cool shalphas from it. But I just had miserable days the following day. And I need to be productive at work. Yeah, I'm not a full-time YouTuber yet. We'll see if we ever get to that point. But yeah, gotta be frosty and fresh for ye old job as well. No worries, live your life. I appreciate the support, man. I definitely like have been worried about disappointing people, and it's weird to say because like, I mean, I haven't been doing this very long at all. But I know that like people do have some expectations, or at least they're hitting me up and like asking when I'm going to be live. and I want to be more consistent with that. But it all, I think, comes down to the crux of me taking good care of myself and resting well. And I didn't realize it, but like my mattress was really messed up. And so like last night was the first night that I actually got like decent sleep, and I felt like 20 years younger. And that was really bizarre for me to wake up not feeling like I'm a mass of rusty iron. I thought it was just like a turning 30 thing, but no, it's just sleeping on steel thing. So I'm good. I'm doing great. It's going to be good. Things are going to be good. Hope that reflects that in the content as well. The streams, I hope that they have a little bit more oomph to them, a little bit more energy. But aside from that, the only real notable thing that happened over the course of the weekend, I have been putting a lot of time in Eterna Forest, just doing random encounters for my shiny badge quest in Shining Pearl. I got my second shiny Baniri. That's not what I want at all. But if I get a team of them, I will take out every single gym with a team of shiny Lopunny for sure. So far, I got 2 shiny Baniri. I'm going for a Misdreavus. That's what I really want on the team. I want to get a shiny Mismagius on the team. So I'm going to keep going until I get Mismagius. And like, if other stuff shine in the meantime, then they do. But yeah, 2 shiny Baniri in like 1 weekend. It was really bizarre. But I guess Easter came late. How are you doing, Cryptid? I'm glad to see you here. Oh yeah, I feel the mattress thing. Finally got my proper mattress back. I missed it so much. Yeah, like I didn't realize it. Like it's a slow decline too. I mean, my wife's sitting here. She told me 2 months ago apparently, and I didn't listen. So that's kind of on me in a certain sense, but like her side was perfect. And like I would go into the middle and like I'd be like, "Oh, wow. Like I feel like I'm on a cloud now. Like my back doesn't hurt." Like amazing, right? But just my quality of sleep was so terrible, and then on top of that, I'd be staying up late streaming, and so I'd be hitting the bed late and then like not getting any sleep, and then just like not being a productive human being. And like I kind of came to a head with myself, and I'm like, this can't keep happening. Something's got to give. But thankfully, the mattress made a huge impact. I woke up like completely rested, completely ready for the day. Woke up a little early, in fact. Got to work, had a really productive day. Got home, still had energy to go tackle the yard work, which I was dreading. Because like I said, it was a jungle. It was a safari zone in my front yard. Like there were Scyther in there were Kangaskhan in there. I think I saw a Tauros or 2, I'm not gonna lie. It was bad. We've got like a ridiculous amount of rainfall, and then it was really, really snowy and cold, and then everything just shot up to like 5 feet overnight. It was ridiculous. But it no longer looks like that. There's still some work to do, but like we got through most of it with just a weed whacker and a push mower. And yeah, that's going to be a project. We're going to eventually, since we're in a much drier climate, we're going to eventually just tear out all the stuff in the front yard and zero-scape it, or just replace it with like lava rocks and moss and stuff that doesn't require a lot of water, because our state is in constant drought conditions and it just keeps getting worse. We live in a desert. There's no point in having a green lawn in a desert in our front yard. And yeah, so like that's going to be a working project in and of itself. Yeah, some like low water plants and biome friendly stuff that you would find naturally out in the western deserts where we are located, the Rocky Mountains. So it should be good. It's going to be a lot of work because we're basically going to have to dig our yard down like several inches, line it all with like a weed liner, and then fill all of that with like gravel and wood chips and moss and dirt and all sorts of stuff. But it should look really cool when we're done. Maybe I'll post pictures if I can do so without doxing myself completely. But yeah, so without further ado, let's dive into it. Let's get into the gameplay. I have not played Arceus. Actually, I need to change my overlay slightly. Whoops, we're not playing Colosseum anymore. totally spaced that too. Bear with me. I haven't played Arceus since the last time I streamed it, so kind of going into it more or less blind, but that's fine too. Like, I'm not sweating it. The target for tonight is Torterra, but we all know how that goes. We all know how that goes. Legends logo, shiny charm. We still got our sub goal going. Okay, cool. I can just refresh this now. Save it. Booyah! That's the right logo. Cool. We are good. Awesome. Let's dive into it. So Torterra is the target. If we can find a Grottle that turns into a secondary alpha Torterra, that would be ideal, and we can permutate hunt it. Had crazy luck last stream with the permutation hunts. We got all sorts of craziness in terms of Prinplup, which was pretty special. That we turned into an alpha, or shalpha, Chase. This was... And he's sleeping. Look at him. He's sleeping. He's probably sleeping right now. He might be awake, depending on the time zone. Chase is out in Australia. But yeah, we named it Chase because Chase basically like called the permutation that it was on to the T. I think he got it exactly, and he's been so close on all the other ones. So we're going to be focusing our efforts in the Mirelands, because that's where the Alpha Torterra lies. That's where potentially Grottle could be, if we can find another permutation hunt. I know a lot of people have... Chase is terrifying. Chase is... It's mad what that young man knows. But there's a lot that we can do. He knows things no human should. His knowledge is too great. But that's kind of going to be the MO, is just trying to find these alpha spawns where we can. I think I already had checked this. This looks very familiar to me. I recall there being the Spiritomb there and the Cyndaquil there. Yeah, okay. So I already checked that before. I think I closed the last stream. So we're going to reset this spawn. We can check the Alpha Torterra and see if it's shiny, because I got the perfect dex on Torterra on one of the last streams. Since we have Empoleon, I have 2 Alpha Infernapes. Torterra's the last one of the 3 that we need. And then we'll have not only all of the Hisuian starters Alpha Shiny, but we'll also have all of the Sinnoh starters Alpha Shiny, which I think is going to be really, really exciting. I didn't think it would be as easy to get, because like I watched Beacon of Nick going for Alpha Empoleon, and that dude put in hours, man. He put in so much time for that Empoleon. I mean, it was something like 2 or 3 weeks of streaming non-stop to get the Empoleon. Chase, welcome to the stream, dude. We were just talking about you, man. How are you doing today? And I have no doubts that you got Shalpha Torterra, dude. You've got all the Shalphas. I do not, though, so that's what we're working on tonight. I hope that you had a great weekend, Chase. So this is a pretty perf. You broke your left hand. Didn't you just break something else recently? Or was that the same injury? I'm sorry to hear that, man. I hope that you get better soon. Yeah, you... Are you saying yes to it being new, or yes to it being the same one? Either way, I feel bad for you, man. I hope that you get feeling better quickly. New injury. I'm so sorry to hear that, sir. I recall you saying that you were recovering from something else recently, too. So hopefully you heal up fast. And especially with like the hands and such, I've always been really scared of getting like a severe hand or arm injury because all of my hobbies involve using my hands, like playing guitar, playing video games. That's all I do. I guess I'd have to start reading or something, but my knee and leg has fully recovered. Good. At least that is good. You're not like dealing with multiples at the same time, even though it sounds like you've had a really rough go of things. I talked a little bit on the last stream, I think, where I have never broken a bone, but I've come dangerously close to breaking both my forearms. And that was a nightmare enough to make me really worry about something serious happening to my hands in the future. No, that's too simple. Well, I was like, you could have just said fractured. I'm like, no, that's not how we describe things on this stream. I'm sorry. We gotta space out the time somehow. No. It can't all be this easy. I will check the spawns in between. I'm not going no spawn Nancy here. I will check the other spawns as we're going. I will look for other shinies. Make it a little fun. See what else we get. I always kind of like doing the variety approach, the grab bag approach. The, what's it called? Smorgasbord approach? I don't know. Whatever word for variety you tend to like and use. Yeah, that. Yo, Alex, what's up? Cryptid, I've broken both arms 1 year after another. Wait, so you broke both your arms back to back? Or like one arm and then the other? Because if you broke both of them like 2 years in a row, that's commitment, man. At least you're going all out. You're like, you know what? If I'm gonna do it, I might as well do it all the way twice, each way. One arm, then the next year after. Okay. My little brother, no joke. So like, I love my little brother, and if he's watching this stream at any point in the future, don't take this the wrong way. But when he was a kid, he was not the brightest kid, right? He had a tendency where he would dive off of our couch, and he 2 times he dove off of the couch headfirst into a coffee table and like just messed his eyebrows up. Like he had to go get stitches and my dad had to take him to the hospital and everything. But it was like he did it once, right? And then like I think I was in the shower or something, and like I just remember my dad like carrying my brother in, and his whole face is covered in blood and he's just screaming like he's dying. And I'm like, I like peek out of the shower curtain. I'm like, what is going on? And he's like, he did it again. He did it again. And he was so angry. But that was my brother. Like he did what he wanted to do, and he wanted to jump around on the couch, and we had very sharp coffee tables, I guess. It was a thing in the 90s. Yo, Alex, if you want me to trade you that shield on right now, let me know if you're ready and I can do that. I'm literally just checking these spawns in between Torterra checks, so. Yeah. But, I mean, they had the 70s furniture in the 90s, so that's why it was dangerous.
Oh, gotcha. You're right.
Yeah, you think he'd learn. You would think like after the first round of stitches that it would sink in, but no, man, he was a stubborn kid. It all goes back to like my family just having, I don't know what you guys were raised like, but my family was still raised in the era of like, if it doesn't kill your kid, you keep using it, right? Like we had one of those car seats that literally was like foam and then like a thin metal bar on it from like the 70s. It was painted like pea soup green or something. And like the foam was coming out of it, and that was the car seat that we used like all through me growing up. But it was very similar with like furniture and stuff in the house, cribs, whatever. You name it. Kind of a miracle that we all survived, but hey, we're here. To their point, I mean, they saved a lot of money, I'm sure. Probably would do a shiny giveaway when I have a lot. I would love to do a shiny giveaway if the community is at all interested in it. I mean, I have like so many shinies saved up and whatnot. It's just like a matter of like doing it and if there's enough interest for it to actually be worth doing, I guess. Like I wouldn't want to do a giveaway and then like not have like have 300 Pokemon and then not give them away, you know? Or only give them away to like a handful of people. So maybe we'll do like incremental giveaways at sub goals. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think, and like if you have any thoughts in the Discord, like definitely let me know there. And we can coordinate something cool. But yeah, like I definitely want to give out some shiny Pokemon. Like the whole point of me catching all of these was kind of low key because like I wasn't going to use them all. And I've given some to most of you guys, so. Sounds like a good idea. Yeah, Chase, I'm the same way. Especially if it's like, if I know it's going to bring someone like joy and they're going to really enjoy the Pokemon, like that makes it all the better. I've gotten a few people that have like hit me up on Instagram and have asked me for a specific Pokemon, and I'll totally try to hunt those for those people as well. But yeah, I don't know. If there's interest in it, I will do it. That's kind of what it comes down to. And I know like the bigger focus right now is to get to the sub goal to get the Gen 1 playthrough popping. Because I think that's going to be really fun, but I can do a combo of it. Maybe we do giveaway one day with some shiny hunting. Maybe we give away the shinies that we hunt. I don't know. I also thought about doing I'd like to do a second playthrough as a shiny lock and only use heavy balls. And I think that would be kind of interesting. Only because enough time has passed from when I actually played the story that it might be cool to revisit. But I guess the biggest playthrough focus is really Coliseum on Fridays. It's like I tend to get into a spectrum where like I just have idea after idea of like that would be cool, that would be cool, that would be cool, that would be cool. But I have to like still finish the stuff that I have right now. I mean, that's why my game collection is so backlogged. It's like I just keep buying games. I'm like, oh, look at that. That's new. Also, you guys let me know if the audio levels need to be bumped up for the music or anything. For some reason, like through my phone, it sounded really quiet, but I don't know if that's actually what's going on stream or not. Trying to fix the Mega Evolve issue in Pogo. I read the blog post. I've not seen anything about that, but to be honest, like I've kind of straight up ignored Mega Pokemon. I like really only play if there's a shiny event or something, or like community day. But like I need like every Mega Pokemon. Like I need every single one pretty much. But if they're actually doing something cool with them, then yeah. Oh wait, they're making it permanent? Yo, that changes everything. Straight up, like the reason that I haven't given a crap about Mega Pokemon in Pogo is because it was a timed thing. It's like, great, I get the Dex entry, tight, but why can't it just be permanent? Like, why can't it just be permanent? Why can't I toggle it? It's not like it's like overpowered. It's not like you battle like and it's not instanced or anything. I don't know. That's like a good change. And I am kind of like I'm more excited about Alolan Geodude Community Day than I was about Stuffle Day. I got really irked with Stuffle Day because like the candy requirement was just stupid. I was like, why are you using a 400 candy requirement Pokemon on a Community Day? And granted, they did have like the research tasks to get you more candy and such, but I just wanted, I don't know, I feel like they should lower the requirements for candy on community days. Okay, there'll be a sleeping period afterwards. I'll need to look into that, dude. That's actually somewhat exciting. And like, they need a win, you know? After all the flack that they got for the incense and for like the COVID, like walking back the COVID stuff, like they need a solid like W to like bring back to the community and like, I don't know, make it seem like they're listening and doing things that people actually like. Otherwise, people are just gonna stop playing the game. I've definitely gone through waves where I've like slowed down my playing, and I used to be like big into like raiding and spending so much money on passes. I don't do that like at all anymore. It also helps, I guess, that they just keep releasing the same legendaries and raids too. Not as interesting when I've done like, I don't know, when you do the legendary bird, like there's still legendary birds I don't have, but like when you battle the same thing over and over, the same legendary over and over, you get tired of it. I think I need Entei, but like if they did like a legendary dog week, I wouldn't do half the raids. I'd maybe do an Entei here or there. So that's it. Beazle. Yeah, that's, I don't know, that's interesting. That must have just come out like super recent, because usually I'm pretty plugged into like Cerebi and whatnot. Yeah, plus I'm kind of solo over here, so high level raids are a no-go. Yeah, I mean, like, if you're at all interested, there's like a remote raid Discord group that Tony added me to. But I think that you had mentioned in the past that like you're pretty much solely free to play, and that would be a little bit difficult. Because like raid passes are, they add up quick. Got a shiny Suicune and Pogu when they were out. I got a shiny Suicune. It was like one of the last events. I think it was the silver and gold, like the Let's Go Johto or whatever. Not Let's Go Johto, but you know what I mean, the Johto event. And then I got Raikou from raids one of the times that it was out. I don't know which. I think it was like the second distribution or something. You're fine. But I haven't gotten Entei yet, and I haven't gotten Ho-Oh. I got Lugia, but not Ho-Oh. Ho-Oh, like, I went out for that when the first raid, like, I drove in my car all day to try and get a shiny Ho-Oh, and did not get one whatsoever. I don't know, we must have done like 15 raids, 20 raids. So many raids. And granted, like, the odds are 1 in 20, so that's not a lot, but it's like a lot when you're driving around with kids in summer in the heat and like coordinating with random strangers. I don't know. Different times, man. Now it's like I will not leave my house to raid in Pogo. 3 Ho-Oh, jeez, man. Lucky. Happy with my method, no regrets on my end. Hey, I think it's like, it's more legit if you can go free to play, in my opinion. If you commit to the free to play, I mean, it's so easy to just pay money in the game. And if you're like, no, and you're sticking to your virtues and you're still getting shinies and having a good time, that's just dope. Yeah, that's my wife. She doesn't spend anything in the game unless she has to. The amount of money I spent on Pogo is something. Yeah, it's kind of like one of those things where it's like, just don't tell me. I don't think I've spent all that much. I mean, like, I've gotten 1,800 Pokemon storage, and I think my item storage is like 1,000. So that's over the course of like, what is it, 6 years now? 7 years?
Over 7 years, you probably spent
Yeah, I think that's pretty fair. My wife says the figure is probably about $300.
That's like
Yeah, that's including like the $15 events or whatever, and bag space, incubators occasionally. I don't do any of that now though. Like I bought raid passes for the first time when Tony invited me into the Discord, and the first day that I was in the Discord, I got the shiny on the first raid. So I was like, all right, I guess I don't need to spend money anymore. Yeah. Yeah. The one, I don't remember what it was for. I want to say it was during the event. It was like, I want to say it was the I'm like brain foreign right so hard right now. I think it was before Ho-Oh and Lugia. They did like a distribution of the legendary birds that led to Mewtwo coming out in raids, right? And so my wife and I were just like going ham on all the birds because she needed them, I needed them, shiny. And we went like, we were raiding all over, you know, all over the town that we were in that was by my old work. And we did like a bunch of Zapdos, we didn't get anything. We did a bunch of Articuno, we didn't get anything. And we're just going, we're dropping as many passes as we can carry. And there was one raid. It was the last raid that we were going to be able to do. There was like 5 minutes on it left. I run over, I like quick park the car. I grab her phone. I'm running over to the raid. I like dive in basically. I get both of our phones signed into the raid, and we do the mulch race, right? And I didn't check it or anything. I just completed the raid, got to the rewards button, the, you know, like the where you actually check the legendary, and I bring the phones back to the car because I'm like, I want her to be able to, you know, experience this with me. If we get a shiny or if she gets a shiny, she can be excited about it. Dude, we both got shinies from that one raid. It was the last raid of the day. We came in clutch and both got shiny Moltres. Yeah, it was the only one that we got that day. I don't know. Those are like the Pogo memories that I miss, and I just don't think I'm gonna have again. I don't know. Maybe they'll make some really cool changes, and we'll finally put our regular raid passes to use or something. No, I do not have a shiny Articuno in Pogo. Nope. Dude, I've done like over 70 raids for Articuno, and I've never gotten one. I've never seen one. Well, the frustrating thing, and I've already talked about this a bit, but the frustrating thing is that like it was another one of those legendary bird raid days. I mean, they've done like 50 of them, right? But it was another one of those days, and like there was a guy that I worked with that like was no lifing Pokemon at the time, and then there was another guy who was just kind of a nerd that like a nerd generalist. He was generally nerdy. He didn't commit to one thing. If you talked anything nerdy with him, he would kind of talk about it and understand what you were talking about. He was a fair weather nerd, I think is the term that we're going to use. He kind of like dabbled in anime, but like he didn't know all that many of them. He kind of dabbled in video games. He said he like codes a little bit, right? Fair weather nerd. And so for some reason he wanted to hang out, and like I've never hung out with the guy. So I was like, well, funny that you ask or that you mention it. Like we are actually going to go do Pokemon Go this weekend. So if you want to come and nerd out with us, like feel free, right? He's like, oh yeah, that sounds great. That sounds fantastic. So like I drive out of my way to go pick this guy up, and I'm like, okay, like let's go do this, right? I'm all hyped up. I'm like, how many raid passes do you got? And he's like, I mean, I got the one that they give me. And I'm like, you got one raid pass? He's like, yeah. I'm like, dude, we're you know we're gonna be like doing raids like all day, right? He's like, yeah, that's fine. Okay. So I pick up the other person. I'm like, how many you got? He's like, I got 15. I'm good to go. Like, I'm stocked up. Let's do this, right? So we start hitting the raids, and like I'm struggling to find them, right? and I'm struggling to time them right in the Slack so that we can actually get to them, because everything was coordinated via Slack. Someone would post up like a GPS pin drop for the raid. You'd slap it into Google Maps. You'd drive there and show up and do the raid with everybody. They'd all wait for you and like say, we're going to do it in 15 minutes. Either show up or like you're not going to get in, right? So I was finding a few. We go to the first one. Guess who gets a shiny? The Fairweather Nerd. He gets one right off the bat. Like, congrats, dude. That's exciting. Congrats. He gets it. No one else in the raid gets it. They're all like, he's like, oh, is this the normal one? It looks kind of funny. Like, he doesn't even know what he's got on his screen. He doesn't know what's on his screen, right? Yeah. His name was Jeff, okay? We're gonna call him Jeff. Because that was his name. He gets it, right? And I'm just like, sitting here like, congrats, dude. You had one raid pass. So he obviously spins the photo disc on the raid. He gets another raid pass. He's like, oh, cool. I guess I can do another one, guys. I'm like, yeah, you can. You can do another one. Let's go see it. So we go do a Zapdos. Guess who got another shiny? Not me. Not the other person. There was no life in the game. Freaking Jeff. Okay? He pulled another shiny. I was like, what the hell, Jeff? He's like, oh, this game's pretty lucky. This is a lot of fun, guys. And I'm like, I hate you, Jeff. Like, we go. He spins the photo disc again. He gets another raid pass. He's like, oh, I guess I can do another with you. Haha. I'm like, yes, you can, Jeff. You can do another one. You can do another one. So he's like, oh, well, it'd be really cool. It'd be really cool if we could get a Moltres. Because, like, if we get a Moltres, then I'd have all three, right? I'm like, yes. 1 + 1 and 1 does equal 3, Jeff. There are 3 birds. So, you know, we do a bunch of other raids. And Jeff is just waiting because he doesn't want to do them if they're not a Moltres, right? And we're not really seeing a lot of Moltres. We do like another 5 Articuno. We do another 5 Zapdos. Jeff is just hanging out. Jeff is just hanging out. He's just in the car. He's not coming out. He's just chilling, you know? He's just happy as a pig and you know what. He's just so stoked that he's showing us up. He's showing up us no-lifers, right? He's got the shinies and he's just happy as a clam, right? He's just hanging out. He's just chatting us up, showing his Pokemon ignorance to everybody. Because, like, he doesn't know what's up with the game, but he's just there having a good time being a Fairweather nerd. And so we're about to wrap it up for the day. 1 Moltres raid pops up. 1 Moltres raid pops up. We say, Jeff, this is your time. You wanted this. We don't care about this bird. I already had my one from the raid I did with my wife earlier, so I wasn't sweating this. We pull up to a diner, because that's where the gym was located. We pop into the raid. And mind you, to paint a bigger picture of how frustrating this was, Jeff's strongest Pokemon, guess what level Jeff's strongest Pokemon was? His strongest Pokemon. Or like, I guess CP, I should say. Just take a guess. Yeah. Resident Cryptid, you hit it on the head. It was 1,000. He was using like level 10 Pokemon. He was doing no damage. He was not helping anyone. He was just getting carried. Because he was a Fairweather nerd. And we pop into the raid. He doesn't have items to revive his 1000 CP Pokemon, so the CP just keeps going down as we go. He's using Jigglypuff. He's using Ditto. He's using Diglett. He's using whatever he has to just throw at these Pokemon in the hopes that we would carry him to victory. And we did, time and time again. And we were okay with that. I mean, I wasn't asking for an equal share in the glory or anything. But we did probably like 16 to 18 raids between us. Jeff did 3. And guess who got the shiny Moltres? Guess who got the shiny Moltres? It wasn't me. It wasn't the other no-lifer. Jeff. Jeff got all 3 legendary birds with 3 raid passes, and it was his first time raiding in the game. I'm not kidding you guys. He got all 3 birds in one day. Jeff. And then, so we're coming back. We're beaten. We're bruised. We're out of protein shakes. We're out of water, right? The AC is blasting full tilt because we've been out in the sun all day raiding, and Jeff's just been chilling in the car, right? We get to Jeff's house. Oh, thanks, guys. Well, this was a lot of fun. We'll have to do this again sometime. We never did. We never did. But that's like, that happened, and then my friend from way back in Wisconsin, he started picking up the game again. And like within a week, he hatched like 4 or 5 shinies, and I'm like, there has to be something to this algorithm that's like boosting people hard. There has to be like something in the game code that's just boosting people when they're not playing or when they're coming in new. I swear. That's what I'm convinced of, at least. I have nothing mathematical or nothing like confirmed to actually prove that, other than anecdotal feels experience. But I've done enough shiny hunting to kind of get an idea of like what is what is full odds at 1 in 500 and what is not. And those are just too, I don't know, too suspicious. Something's fishy, Jeff. His soul got out and went blank. Dude, my soul got out every single time he got a shiny. Are you kidding me? I was trying so hard. And that's on, like, already on the fact that I had already done, like, so many raids, dude, and hadn't gotten them. Same with, yeah, like, the game's like, he plays all the time. We don't want to give him shinies. He'll stop paying us. Yeah, my wife has a shiny Articuno.
No raids I've done?
She's done, like, 5
Yeah,
Articuno raids. I've done, like... Let's take a look. Let's take a look at how many Articunos I've seen. Let's just take a look right now because I'm curious. It bends over backwards to please new or long time returning accounts. That's what I'm saying. Like it's a fact. Like it's a fact. It's like it's gonna get them shiny, like stuck on the shinies.
I remember when I stopped playing for like a year or 2.
Yep. And then you came back, like, you were getting shinies.
For, like, that short amount
Yeah.
of time.
Yeah, there was a period of, like, a year where I didn't play at all. And, like, more shinies came out. And, like, we were going to get groceries. And we were pulling out of my driveway. And legitimately... Did you just get a shiny?
No.
Oh my god, my wife just gasped. And I was like...
No, but you're probably going to be more mad when you tell me what your number...
Okay, so I've exaggerated my Articunos. I've done 35 Articunos. But still, that feels like a ridiculous amount to me.
Like, you know how many
I guess, okay, so between... I've done over 60 raids between Zapdos and Articuno, and I do not have a shiny of either. So that's a lot for me. I've done 17 Moltres raids, and I have 2 shiny Moltres. How many do you have, dear?
How many...
Yeah, how many Articunos have you done, wifey? She's done 7, dude. 7. Wait, Rayquaza. I need to see Rayquaza. Sorry. I'm distracted, but okay. I've done 21 Ho-Oh. Rayquaza I did a lot of, though. I've done 36 Rayquaza raids. Yeah. Yeah, 36 Rayquaza raids. I do have 2 shiny Rayquaza, but I only got them towards the end. They were back-to-back remote raids. And then with the dogs, 35 Raikou. I've only done 9 Entei and 18 Suicune. Interesting. I did so many Raikou, man. So many Raikou. 27 Mewtwo's. Dang, dude. So the PL8's Pogo. This is a Pogo stream now, guys. Inadvertently, we're gonna play Pokemon Go and do remote raids for Articuno. Got my shiny Suicune in the first raid I joined, so I was extremely lucky. I've only had that happen like a few times. But that is like a super good feeling when that does happen. Especially when you get to like... It feels good when it comes around, you know what I mean? It does feel good when it comes around. When you're in the luck, it's okay. But when you're not, man, you're not. Like, there is no in-between. It's either all or nothing. Also, my apologies, Fisher. Welcome to the stream, dude. I was so into that story. I saw your reply, but did not respond to it. The concert was awesome. I got to see Amorphous live. They're fantastic. If Finnish Melodeath is not your forte, you probably won't like them. But I think that they're just an amazing all-around band, even without metal factored in. They're just awesome. What I got away with on my active versus old account was unreal. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's obvious bias happening here. And it's like new people that pop in the game. And granted, maybe it's because there's just more to be shiny now than there was before. But I don't think that's it. Like, I don't think that's it. Like, you're telling me that they walk into the same 1 in 500 odds and can pull 3 or 4. And like, there was one day in particular, I got 6 full odds shinies off of like 1 incense. And I literally thought that like there was some sort of like almost community day event. They were all different and they were from like all over. Like, I went to go get Panda Express. It always comes back to Panda Express. But I went to go get Panda Express. I'm driving through the parking lot. I got a shiny Mischievous. And I was like, great, I'm just going to end up giving this to my wife. And I did. But then I got shiny Gligar, and I know Gligar is boosted, but I got like 4 other shinies off the same instance, and they were all different Pokemon. And it was like, there wasn't an event going on. So it's, but like, maybe, I don't know, maybe that was because I hadn't played in a while. Could be something going on. Yeah, no. Game just hates me, it's fine. What do you mean? I don't know. Like, Suicune's grown on me, though. I mean, what did I say before? Raikou? I said Raikou was my favorite dog? What was wrong with me? No, okay. Raikou is definitely number 3. No, which way you cut it. And now I'm gonna go back into ranking Pokemon, right? Raikou is definitely the 3rd best dog, especially if we're talking his silver and gold sprites. Like, okay, I need to hang on. We're going places. Let me desktop view. Okay. Look at this Pokemon right here. Look at how dumb this thing looks. They fixed it in Crystal. Like, this is what this Pokemon should look like. But, like, what is this? This looks like, freaking Dracovish, dude. Look at that head, dude. Look at those chompers. Like, that's not a Raikou. Easily number 3, let's be honest. They fixed him, but he just looks so dumb here, right? I would say Suicune's probably my favorite, but Entei is a close second. I do like Entei a lot. And I think the reason that I like Entei so much is because it was the first dog that I had actually seen without any understanding of what I had encountered when I saw it. It popped up. I'm pretty sure it was, yeah, this sprite didn't change at all. Holy mackerel. Okay, look at... I didn't know the 1997 sprites were so terrible. Wow. Okay, yeah, but the 1999 Suicune looks pretty much the same. They just changed its color a little bit. Entei looks the same. Again, color changed slightly. But look at, like, the drastic... Oh my... It looks like he's bleeding out of the mouth here, dude. Like, this is like... He's rabid.
Like a scarf on a cat's body.
Yeah, like, what? I don't know what's happening. Then he gets his rabies shot, and he's like... He's just angry boy, right? And then he finally turns into a majestic beast in Pokemon Crystal. But it took 3 games for him to be okay. Suicune has always been my favorite shiny dog. Okay, so yeah, when we're talking shiny, Suicune takes the cake. Suicune does take the cake, but just in terms of, like, the dogs themselves, I have a hard time... I mean, Suicune still takes the cake, but Entei takes the donuts, if you know what I mean. He's got him on his arms right there. You can see him. Little chocolate donuts. Suicune looks like that dog kid hybrid in that one show. Yeah. Literally, Raikou has rabies. Yeah, dude, he's foaming at the mouth. Like, he's not okay. He's not okay. The 1997 one? Yeah. It's, like, super edgy, and then, like... I don't even know what this is. Like, this looks like a poodle. They look like dingoes.
Yeah. Dingoes.
And, like, this one, what were they thinking? But, I mean, like, if you guys have ever looked at... I don't know if you guys can actually see this or not. This is what Charizard looked like in the first game, the Japanese game. This is what Rhydon looked like. This is what Mew looked like. These things were straight up scary, bro. Like, what is this? Look at Squirtle here. Like... Mew, yeah, dude, like, Mew, look at this. Like, this was the original game. Like, Farfetch'd? Oh, dude, no, this one for sure. Machoke. This is what the Pokemon legitimately looked like in the Japanese games before they got ported to the US. Freaking Geo, dude. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, they're all so... They're scary, dude. Poor Machoke. Blastoise, he's just a thick boy. I mean, that's probably the most passable out of all of them. Porygon, though. I mean, it doesn't look that far off, but it's definitely not as refined here. But man, they, yeah. If we're talking... Oh, dude, Golbat. Oh, look at that thing. Yeah, dude, I got the Japanese games and I started playing them not knowing this. And, like, the minute... Like, Bulbasaur doesn't look... This is Bulbasaur, right? He definitely doesn't look as good, but he's passable compared to the other... Compared to this, he's passable, right? So, like, obviously I chose Bulbasaur. But man, dude... Man, I don't know what they were thinking over there. And like then they did fix them, but like, yo, this dude is the goblin from Gringotts. Like, what is this? Yeah, Golbat, you okay? Golbat Gen 1 is my favorite look. Dude, like get this as like a sick tattoo or like a decal for your truck, bro. Oh man. Yeah, they were down bad when it came to Gen 1 Japanese sprites. I don't know what to make of it. I don't know what to make of it. Maybe I'll have to do that for my Gen 1 playthrough. Do the Japanese game. Or do a ROM of the Japanese game too. I'll say I can't with Cloister because there were only two types of people that let that happen. Those who knew and those who didn't. And I don't know which is funnier. Exactly. The ones on that would pop up on the They Knew Reddit, I think, for sure. Yep. Yep, we're talking about Cloister. They for sure let that happen. I mean, someone had to put those pixels there. They were deliberately placed there. Man, I'm still looking at these. I need to get them away. They're just gonna haunt me for the rest of the stream. They're just gonna haunt me, dude. I'm gonna wake up in the middle of the night. I'll have sleep paralysis to Gen 1 Japanese Mew standing over my bed with the alpha eyes, bro. Yeah, Golbat too. Golbat will be there. Just like slurping, making like mouth sounds in the corner of the room. Yeah. Exactly. Oh. No thanks. Start a creepypasta, dude. The year was 1993. You wake up. No Bulbasaur. Bulbasaur was nowhere to be seen. Instead, you only heard saliva sounds from the corner. I watched enough Cthulhu documentaries to know where this is going. Straight madness, yo. That's why they call it Pokemon Green. Pokemon Cthulhu. Straight up. Oh. But yeah, I mean, that's why Raikou sucks as a Pokemon. His sprite was just really bad and he looked like a derp. He just wasn't as cool as the other Pokemon. He was like the Meg of the 3 dog legendaries. I don't know why I would have ever said that I liked Raikou better than the others. Saliva from Golbat, oh my gosh. Maybe I was trying to be edgy. But no, it's definitely Suicune and then Entei. I'll have that be my final answer. But like, you catch me on the right day, and it's an Entei day. It's an Entei. Happens to be a Friday. Friday is Entei.
Oh, no, that's not a spoiler. But
Yeah, I know the dogs are in Coliseum. I will literally name my Entei Entei. I mean, chat decides, so. Yeah, if chat decides, chat decides. Dude, yeah, it went from PLA to Pogo and then ranking. We're gonna cover all the bases, my friend. We're in it to win it. There'll be no coherence here. I gotta make up. Dude, I gotta make up for 4 days of clips. Gotta get them in while the iron's hot, yo. I couldn't then Gen 1 Pokemon being ugly. Yep. This is a Pokemon history exploration. A deep dive into the lesser known sprites of Pokemon. That would actually be a fun stream though, doing like a Japanese game and then like chat names whatever they think of first. Renames all of the Pokemon. And now we're back to PLA. We came full circle. If you wait 5 minutes, we'll get off the trails really quick. I need a ranking of all 1997 Pokemon. All the original Japanese sprites? Ooh. Okay, I'll try and see if there's a ranker out there for that. I mean, at least that's like less, that's digestible enough to be like a start of a stream compared to like when I naively thought that I could rank all 900 Pokemon in one stream. I was like, yeah, that's not that long. Like, I know the gens well enough. But then I sat there and talked about every Pokemon for 3 minutes. And I got through two gens, and I'm like, I'm already 2 hours into this stream. Tier list. Okay, I'll see what I can do. If it really comes down to me, like, directly pulling the images and creating my own tier list for it, I will do it if there isn't one there. I'll look into it. Golbat, Saliva Bat. We just call it mouth sounds. That's all that Pokemon is, dude. Scat Bat? I don't know. Come on, just run away. I'm big and spooky. I'm big and spooky. Don't attack. Why is that in your bag of tricks? You should run away. Is that just an Alpha Shinx chilling over there? He looks quite large. No, that's just a normal one. Golbat equals gluttony. Dude, we'll have no shortage of names if we ever play it. I like started playing it just because I was like, yeah, like I might as well. Like I don't know how, well, I know how this happened, but I ended up with like 6 to 8 copies of Japanese Pokemon Gold because literally they're $1 on eBay, and I'm like, yeah, that seems like a good deal. And it never didn't seem like a good deal. And like sometimes I would get like I got 5 or 6 Japanese games for like $3 shipped. I'm like, yeah, I'll practice on these. Like I'll see if I need to repair them, I can repair them. But it literally just led to me like asking any of my friends who like Pokemon, hey man, you want a Japanese Pokemon game? And they're like, yeah, I guess that's kind of cool. Mario says that would be Wrath or Envy. Though I've only played Darksiders and they've like messed up the names of those anyways. So I was raised Catholic, but I didn't pay attention to that.
I know the sin. Okay.
Hey, like I'm in how many years will it be? 6 years? I will have been not Catholic for as long as I've been Catholic. That's kind of crazy. Kind of crazy. No, it's just weird that like originally being from someplace and like a part of something and then like equal time where it's like, nope, haven't lived there. That's what I'm saying. It's like I will be equally like Utah as I will have been Wisconsin. And that's kind of weird to think about. That's really weird to think about. But it's how life be. I guess Snorlax would probably be more of... Yeah, Snorlax would be Sloth for sure. Munchlax would be Gluttony, that makes sense to me. And like Primate would be Wrath. Well, it'd all be Gen 1 because we're talking about the original sprites. Yeah, so Gen 1. Okay, Lickitung then would be Gluttony. So Snorlax, Sloth, Lickitung, Gluttony. Rage would be Primeape. Greed would be Meowth. I don't think a Steely Pokemon in Gen 1? No, but like it's Steel stuff, like a Thief Pokemon in Gen 1. I don't think so. But Meowth has like Payday, so like, I don't know. It's got like the gold. I mean, that's more of a fortune thing, I guess. Than greed, but like people get Meowth because they're like, oh, I'm gonna be rich now, you know? Oh, going off of looks, yeah. Yeah, if you're going off of looks, that makes sense. If you're going off of Pokemon description, that's, I guess, what we're talking about. That's in depth, my dude. Gotta just, wherever the brain goes, you know? Wherever the brain noodle takes me. Well, that was disappointing. Lust would be Jinx. Ooh. Spicy.
What else would it be?
Dragonite? No.
Gen 1.
Depends on what you're into. It could be an Arcanine.
What?
Weeping Bell? Yeah, me too. I'm just gonna pretend that this Obama Snow is not a grass type. And that's what's gonna happen. Oh, man. Pride would be Charizard? I guess that would make sense. What has been said cannot be unsaid, Cryptid. What has been said cannot be unsaid. No, I saw like some weird meme today where it was like, why did Jesse and James choose Lickitung and Weeping Bell for their Pokemon? That's kind of weird. Yeah, I don't know how they got Lickitung either. I just saw like I need to rewatch Indigo League, I guess, or like rewatch all of it. I suppose. Because I don't think I watched much of the other seasons. That is a lot of no's. Moving on. What's your favorite Pokemon and why is it Weeping Bell?
The weirdest laugh. Oh my God.
My wife's having way too much fun in the corner. I don't know, like I'm not watching the VU meter, so I don't know if you're even coming through on the mic or not.
Hope not.
You are now. Past wifey's bedtime. She's loopy.
Oh my gosh, make me sound like an old lady.
You're my old lady.
Sorry, not right.
Yep. Alex is hilarious. Oh yeah. So that's what we do here. Get weird during the witching hours. Hey, you're in good company. What is a late night shiny hunting exhausted stream if not absolutely weird? It's only 10:38 too. We still got time on the clock. Because you're an old lady. Guilty as charged. Go peep at this Staraptor. Only because I haven't seen many of them. And Staraptor shiny is pretty nice. Pretty nice. It's always weird when they spawn like on the mountain. I don't know why. And that's like a suitable place for Staraptor to spawn. But you got like Luxray up there and I'm like, why would Luxray be up here? Yeah, like on top of this like plateau mountain area. I guess because they're like strong and pouncy. I don't know. Yeah, they're like up there like Simba and his dad being like, yeah, it's Pride Rock. They're like looking at their kingdom. They're like, Simba. As far as the eye can see. Whatever the light touches, right? That is our kingdom. Like, what about the island? Don't go there. There are monkeys there. You'll have to sing a whole song. It's just not worth your time, son. Don't do it. I don't like even like cognitively recognize Luxray as lions because they look like baboons to me. It's their ears that throws me off, and then the sounds they make. They look kind of like baboons. I don't know. They look more like monkeys.
No, let's talk about Luxray, right?
Yes, I'm dead. Like yes.
Little electric type.
Yeah, it's because of its ears and the weird eyes. They look like baboon eyes. And like monkey ears. Do I have to bust out the Pokédex and show you? Yeah, they look like monkeys. Facially. Kinda. No. They look like monkeys. Kinda. I think it's just like the color on the eyes and then the ear shape. Because they don't have like pointed cat ears. They have like round, weird monkey ears. I mean, like you look at an Infernape. Yeah, but no cat has like round ears like a Luxray does. But that look like that are on the exact side of its head. Like a lion's ears are upper more, aren't they? It looks like Kimba the white lion. Yeah, but like the placement with a Luxray, it's like down here, you know? That's not where cat's ears would be. They're pretty low. Like I will pull up the Pokédex right now and show you.
I mean, sure, if you want to show me the picture.
And it looks worse on the boy one, I think. Where's Luxray? Where is it? Where are you? Where is he? See? They're like discus. They're like discs on the side of its head. And then it's got like those bloodshot baboon eyes.
Straight up, the only reason I think they put its ears like that is because they were trying to go with it.
You think that's it?
I think so.
Yeah, like Luxio's are positioned higher. And Shinx looks, I mean, like, his ears are even worse. You think that's it? I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I guess that, like, yeah, Shinx makes sense. Okay. Yeah. And you're cross-referencing it to an entire different genus because the ears are too big. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Exactly. It's just facially. I don't look at the rest of the body and go like, oh, that's a monkey. But anytime I see its face, I'm like, that's like a cat monkey, you know? And it just throws me off a little bit. That's all I'm saying. Probably. But it's like cat monkey, that funky monkey. Because you look at him and like his ears are more lion-like than Luxray's. Yeah.
Do have those like rainbow stripes.
Yeah.
That's what you're thinking of. You're not wrong.
Yeah, that's exactly what it makes me think of.
But like,
Kimda the White Lion. Okay, let's look at it. We're exploring all vastness of the internet right now.
the line with Down syndrome or whatever.
I don't know. Let's find out. Oh, okay. Kimba the White Lion.
Oh, like just that like Netflix brand.
Is this off-brand Lion King? What is this? They're like, we can't do Simba, so we'll just do Kimba.
Like off-brand.
Oh man, I mean, he glows up a little bit though. This is the same dude? What is this? Why is she a mouse? Why is she a mouse, dude? She legit looks like Tom and Jerry, bro. And he's just like, what of it? It was before Lion King? No way.
She straight up does look like a mouse.
Known in Japan as Jungle Emperor. It's a Japanese shonen. Okay, we've come full circle here. Japanese original sprites were terrible, and this is just the Japanese original sprites of The Lion King. That's what this comes down to. This is exactly the same thing. No, it didn't. This came first. 1965.
Wasn't it a freaking book?
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying, homie.
Yeah, I don't know. 1965 though? I guess it gets a pass if it's 1965 Japan. It gets a pass. I can't expect too much. The small one is Kimba. So this is Kimba's dad. Does his dad also die? The baby, yeah, the baby looks... I mean, this looks very Shinxy. That makes more sense. Okay. We now know that Luxray Lion is just 1965 lions. We've learned something. I was comparing them to modern day lions, which they do not look like. So it's legit the same story. That, man, that's kind of frustrating. But I mean, what can you expect? What can you expect? There are no original ideas here anymore. My whole childhood was a lie. Well, yeah, it's a West African myth, but they stole it from a Japanese animation. Right? I mean, like, that's what I'm getting here, is that, like, there was an animated movie, they're like, oh, that'd make a sick movie. But we're gonna just do it again because enough time has passed, and we'll just glow it up a bit and throw that Disney spin on it. And make the money. Technically, The Lion King is based off Hamlet. Really? According to Disney? Weird. I mean, that kind of makes sense-ish. that kind of sounds like one of those excuses they made up, though. Like, they really just... let's just say they did jack Kimba the Lion. Like, I'm not making any affirmed statements here. I'm just saying, let's say if they did, right? And they're like, wait, what was your inspiration? Then, like, just quickly just throws the first thing that comes to mind. And Hamlet! Like, that's probably what went down. Possibly. I can't confirm or deny. according to Disney, be right. But we learning things. Crazy. Yeah, Shinx looks closer to Kimba. Yeah, quotation marks was only quoting, exactly. No implications at all, Disney lawyers that are in the chat. If anything, Kimba stole from Lion King, Disney lawyers. That's what I think. We all know how that wheel of time turned. Right in Disney's favor. Yeah, time travel. There's at least 3 movies on it. At least. Are we talking specific Disney movies?
Lion King movies.
No, it's talking time travel. But yeah, there's at least 3 Lion King movies. Very common knowledge. Exactly. Time travel. That's why the original 1997 sprites were just so crazy. They're aliens from the future. Brought back to the past and put in digital form. You want to play it?
I can't play it.
You want to pretend to play it?
No, but I just realized it's the next.
It is. Absolutely. I say that word like a lot as an affirmative expression, but now every time I do, I think of Absol. And yeah, that's my wife's favorite Pokemon. So I'm just like every day thinking about Absol now. And it's a bringer of doom, so I don't know if that's a good thing or not. Was that a shiny? I don't see a shiny. I think I'm just tripping out. Yeah, I think I'm just tripping out. Yeah, I think it's like what's said in the Pokédex, right? Because it shows up anytime that like bad stuff happens, like on Mount Coronet and whatnot.
But I plus like
Yeah, fair. You're saying Absol is misunderstood. No luck. No luck and no dice. Absolutely. Absol used to be my favorite when I was younger. It just looked so cool. It still does. What's your favorite now, though? That's what I'm more curious on, is what did you switch from? You went from Absol, which is ostensibly a cool Pokemon with dark typing. What replaced Absol? We don't talk about Absol. Nope. I don't know about rats on its back, though. Eevee? Okay. That is understandable. I mean, like, Eevee... And only Eevee, not like an Eeveelution. You like the possibilities. I can see it from a possibility perspective. You get 8 Pokemon in 1, which is always a good ratio to Pokemon. It's true, you have to do more work for them. Is it really worth, is what my wife is asking. Hey, if someone is that, I don't know, if you're into Eevee, you already know what type of work goes into getting them all. And you're happy to do the work for all of them, I think. The only thing that I dislike about Eevee is that we haven't gotten one in so long. They just stopped at fairy typing and they're like, no, we good. We'll see. Like, I hope that they do another evolution. Because I think that's like the one big thing that fans have been asking for repeatedly that just hasn't happened. And it's like there's only so long of holding out that you can do before like something happens, you know what I mean? Yeah. They need to have a steel type Eevee and a dragon type Eevee for sure. And I was gonna say dark type, but I'm like, my brain just, we already got Umbreon. We need Umbreon 2.0. Yeah, that's what they'll give us. They'll just give us another dark type Eevee. And just be like, but this one actually can attack really hard. It's like, okay. I like looking at fake evolutions. Yeah, like when Sword and Shield were coming out, I think Sword and Shield would have been the perfect time to drop a steel type Eevee. Or like Isle of Armor. Either one of those would have been like super hype. And like this expansion would be kind of cool to do a Spanish one, like a, I don't know, like a dragon type thing. I don't know, man. Yeah. I don't know, what other types do we not have? Because we have ice, we have grass. We don't have ghost. Or bug. Ghost or bug would be kind of cool. Thematically perfect, that's what I'm saying. It would have fit right in. Dragon, ghost, bug, steel, ground, and rock. We don't have a ground or rock Eevee. I think that's all of them, isn't it? Poison. We don't have a poison Eevee. Flying. We do not have a flying Eevee. A flying Eevee would be so cool. Fighting Eevee? Yeah, no, Cryptid's got all the... Cryptid's going through the list. Cryptid knows what's up. A fighting Eevee would be really weird. Like, how would you...
Make it look like one of those ridiculously buff pit bulls.
Like, would its hair just be like a fist on its forehead? Like... And it would like bop you with it? It would headbutt you? No, dude, its tail would have a fist on it, bro. It'd be like a long tail like Vaporeon, and it would just smack people. The karate chop tail. You just make the Eevee buff. I mean, yeah, putting a hand on Eevee sounds like a pretty bad idea. I imagine wraps and a small tail. Yeah, like, but like, I don't know. They probably would do something stupid to make it bipedal. Yeah, it'll be Scrappy Doo in like a karate robe. Yeah, in a robe. And like everyone will be upset with it. Oh God, no, please. What would you even call it?
Honestly, I would go like the bug type. I think that would be so cool.
Bug type Eevee would be crazy.
Especially compared, like, flying.
Imagine it being like all iridescent with like dragonfly eyes or something.
Exactly.
Where it'd have like lenses.
Like, that's exactly
And like a scorpion tail. And like 16 legs. If they try hard enough, they can. Skitter around on the floor. Evie skitters over to you softly.
Ew. That is like the worst sounding thing. I don't want considering.
No, they'd make it like a dog with just like a few things, like all of them. It'd be cute. It'd be like a dog with an exoskeleton. It'd be like freaking. It'd be like the Ant-Man of Eevees. It'd be. Yeah. That's what it'd basically be. Whoa, that's a shiny. That scared me legitimately because I've just been like not paying attention. They just put a helmet on it? Wait, for the bug Eevee it would have a helmet? What do you mean?
Like a dumb like Power Ranger type.
It yeah. It looked like a Power Ranger villain.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't really like Hippowdon's feet. Yeah, I'm not a fan of it as a whole. I don't really like hippos, man. They're scary. They kill more people than like what, lions, I think? Yeah, hippos kill more people than crocodiles, dude. I don't trust them. Exactly. They could just chomp you. One chomp. One chomp is all it takes. One chomp and then you're a chump. Yeah, I mean, they're pretty fearful. They're absolutely tearing up South America too, because Pablo Escobar's zoo, they all broke out, I guess, and they have no predators in Colombia. I think it was like cocaine hippos or something was what they're talking about. Terrorizing the local populations of Colombia. That was some weird headline that was in a news article. They ruled a river with an iron fist, tooth, or stomper. Take your pick. Hippos don't play. Baby hippos are really cute though. And like I spent a lot of time on YouTube watching videos of hippos eating watermelons, and that was kind of cool. I've seen them off a fellow herbivore just because, yeah, they don't mess around. They're really territorial and aggressive. I never like grew up thinking that they were anything other than like manatees, you know? Where they were just kind of like dumb and big. But no, dude. They're gross. They lure you in with the cuteness. Yeah, you think it's like a derpy, slow animal. And then they gore you to death with their tusks. Yeah. You look at a crocodile and you're like, that thing is a dangerous beast. You look at a hippo and you're like, I don't know about you. But they're way more dangerous because of that fact. It was something like water buffalo also kill like a ton of people.
I think so. I think it's water buffalo.
It's like all the big stuff that you sneak up on, and then like moose. Like moose kill a lot of people too. Yep, all the herbivores. Like amphibious orcas in terms of disrespect and deadliness. I don't know if they're as smart. I don't think they're as smart. I think that they're just like territorial and just like, I'm gonna mess you up. But yeah, deadliness. Deadliness for sure. Just the orcas got a little bit more brains behind the tactics, you know? What are you? Deadline. Yeah, they're good at managing workload. They're always on time. Really trustworthy. We'll just watch some Agretsuko. It's been a while since we watched Agretsuko, actually. We'll have to watch it together. I mean, you can say that in the chat if you want. Oh.
Just watch me.
My wife's like talking at her phone while watching the stream and the chat, and she's talking to you, and I'm like, you can just say that if you want. She's like, no. I'm like, okay, have a one-sided conversation. That's fine. Yeah, the death metal red panda, exactly. They've got multiple other seasons out, and I hear it only gets better as it goes on. But that is a family favorite. We started watching that when my daughter was very, very little, and then we just haven't really paid it much mind. Yeah, it took time for the second season to come out, and then it's always just been, I don't know, like everybody has those things that are in their Netflix queue where they're like, oh, we should watch that, and then you just never do. And that's Agretsuko. That's why we're talking about it now. How's your quesadilla? I have a horrible tendency to abandon good media. Yes. Yes. I have a horrible tendency for both. I abandon the good media and watch the crap media. Shows, books, movies, you name it. Music, I don't do too bad with. Generally, I keep up with new releases, and like if my favorite artist drops a new release, I'm hip to it, you know? But definitely TV shows and books, we don't talk about books. Shows, terrible. Yeah, I'd pick like really dumb things to watch, and then like there's so many other good things that I'm like, oh man, I didn't know this was that good. And then it's like only because I haven't watched it and it's sat around for so long. Alero, welcome to the stream, dude. We're talking about all the forms of media that we ignore. And how I watch really dumb shows. And I shouldn't. I don't know. Took me the morning of seeing the two Sonic movies to watch the first. I have not seen either of them. Are they, so like question, are they as bad as everybody memed them to be? That's what I want to know. The books they are online, and that is all I'm willing to elaborate on. I think that I would probably read a lot more books if I had like a Kindle or whatever, or did like ebooks. I don't know. Ever seen Better Call Saul? I have not. That is one of the ones that like I've heard people talk about. I've seen the ads for it on Netflix. It sounds like one of those series that I would watch because I watched a lot of what was the one? Ozarks. I watched like a lot of Ozarks. And I don't know if those shows are like at all similar, but it seems kind of like it is. I only think it's because I haven't gotten 2 seasons into it yet. Yeah, they usually butcher it after like season 2 or 3.
Yeah, when they first start out, they don't sound like the first thing. Then when they start telling me more about it as we get further in, why are you still watching this?
Yeah, I don't know. Not at all. It was just the style of the first Sonic we freaked out on. Okay, good. That's good to hear. Because, like, I mean, like, after everyone just kind of, like, memed on it, I couldn't really pay it much mind. And also, like, I felt conflicted about Jim Carrey. Not in the sense that, like, I disliked Jim Carrey, but more in the sense that, like, I really liked old Jim Carrey. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna like seeing him in this type of a movie. Like, I don't know if he's gonna be believable as Eggman. But, Alero, I have not watched any Breaking Bad other than the first few episodes because I have a really hard time with the premise of the show, and it's because, like, when I watch a show, there's, like, specific moments that I feel are, like, are linchpin moments, for lack of a better word, where, like, every decision is weighted upon one hinge moment in the series, right? And for me, I'll explain. For me, when I was watching Breaking Bad, there was a really bad part of early dialogue in it that, like, basically set up the rest of the show, right? And it came to me, it came across as such, right? Walter White, he's still a teacher. He's down on his luck. I mean, this is like episode 1 or 2. This is as far as I've gotten. And maybe I'm really wrong for this. I don't know. But he's sitting there and he's with his cop brother-in-law, right? And they have this really weird back and forth, just terribly written dialogue where they're watching a drug bust on the TV. And Walter White is like, oh, wow. So, like, you can make money from doing this? He's like, yeah, like, police cop brother-in-law was like, yeah, happens all the time. You can make a lot of money. You can make a lot of money selling drugs. Whole lot of money. I've seen way more money than that money. Seen so much money when I've done drug busts before. Happens all the time. They got so much money. And he's like, really? You can make money selling drugs? Really? Huh. And, like, it's this bizarre back and forth. And granted, that's an over-exaggeration, right? But that's how I interpreted that interaction. And I'm like, that's why he does everything that he does. Like, a normal, and granted, this isn't the story of, like, a normal teacher, but a normal chemistry teacher does not have that conversation and then just immediately start making drugs. But that's what the premise of the plot felt like to me. And I haven't been able to get past that point. And so every single time that I think about Breaking Bad, or I think about any of, like, because I've seen parts of crazy stuff that happens afterwards, I'm like, it all goes back to that conversation where it seems like this guy is incredulous that people make drugs off, or make money off of selling drugs. And I'm like, why? Why is this conversation piece here? Same reason that I didn't watch Walking Dead either. I felt like the whole story of, like, his wife just, like, being like, okay, I think my husband's dead, but I don't know for sure. And just the drama that unfolded with all of that was, like, needless and just really, I don't know, really weird. And it made it so that, like, I had a hard time stomaching the rest of the story as they were feeding it to me, or trying to feed it to me. One part is what makes me leave and not intentionally never come back. Cringe, I can't. Ultimately, I've learned to rush past parts like that. They hurt too much. Yeah, like, some of the shows are kind of, some shows are more forgivable in that regard. Like, I don't know, like, there's shows that, like, I like Supernatural a lot. And, like, the early seasons of Supernatural had some cringe moments, right? I mean, like, the whole, like, Dean standing in the doorway and being like, Dad's not home from a hunting trip, like, that, I mean, like, he didn't say it just like that, but he kind of had this weird smirk on his face. I don't know. There's, like, cringe moments like that in any show, but I think, like, it makes a difference to me if I can actually get past it and if I don't, like, fixate on it too much. But there's certain times when, like, something happens, or I fixate on a specific part, and it's just like, I can't take in any new information at that point that doesn't just make me question why that conversation happened, or why that was a thing in the first place, I guess. And Breaking Bad is one of those shows for me. And I also do have like a component to myself where if like a whole lot of people tell me to watch something, my inclination is just not to watch it. And it's like, in some cases that's prevented me from seeing like really good series and really good, I don't know, like heartfelt recommendations from people that know me. And it's pure stubbornness for sure. It's like, no, I'm not going to do that thing that you tell me. And like when people, if people just ask me like if I've seen something, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like when someone just like goes on and on and on and on and on about it and makes such a big deal about it. It's like, no, now I'm never going to watch it. Now I'm going to be the person 20 years from now that has not seen it just to make your reaction even crazier. And Breaking Bad was kind of one of those shows. Walking Dead was kind of one of those shows. Game of Thrones was one of those shows for me in a huge way. And like Game of Thrones was kind of cathartic because I didn't watch it because I didn't have HBO or whatever. I didn't even have cable or like any like internet for a year or I don't know, a certain amount of time. I didn't have like any streaming or nothing. Well, I had streaming. I had Netflix, I guess. But yeah, I didn't have any of that. So like people would every single day be asking me if I saw the last episode in Game of Thrones. I'm just like, no, dude. I told you 15 times I don't watch the show. I don't have the thing the show is on. Oh man, you gotta see it. You got it. It's so good, man. Oh, it's so. And it's like, dude, like just stop. Just stop, man. Just stop, man. But there was some people that like would make a heartfelt recommendation. I'd have had a few close friends, and like one of them, his name is Andy. He's a gentleman and a scholar. Anytime Andy recommends something to me, I make a point to actually check it out right away because if I don't, I'll forget. And I do trust his taste in that he has my best interest in heart and knows me well enough to make only the best recommendations. Sam, you're another one that I would generally put in that category. Welcome to the stream, by the way, brother. Peas in a pod. We haven't seen it at all. Yeah, I just wasn't interested, so I didn't watch it. Like, I'm into fantasy shows. Like, I love The Witcher. But, I mean, like, The Witcher is tied into, I mean, they're both good stories in a certain sense. I love Lord of the Rings, right? Like, I love fantasy themes. And I think that maybe I would have enjoyed them if I read the books more or something. Or if I had read the books at all, but I didn't. And then I just kept having people, like, shove the TV show in my face, and I'm like, no, I'm not doing it now. I don't have the thing to see it. I don't have HBO. And then I'd have people that were like about to go through lengths and be like, I'll bring you a USB flash drive with all the seasons on it so that you can get caught up and talk about it with me. And I'm like, we're never going to talk about this again. And then they would forget or we wouldn't talk about it. Never saw The Witcher either. I don't fault you for either of those, Sam. The Harry Potter movies were kind of, I mean, like, I would say they were pretty foundational to my childhood, but I didn't read the last book. I never have read the 7th Harry Potter book. I've never read Deathly Hallows. Witcher, I think you would actually really enjoy The Witcher. If we're talking watching the TV series, but the game as well. If you haven't played the game is fantastic. Witcher 3 and all the expansions. I just don't really watch TV. Hey, that's completely fair, man. Yeah, I have 3. Good man. That is like, I want to do another playthrough of 3, but I keep stumbling into my Game Plus playthrough and then forgetting everything that I've done. And then it's just too intimidating, and then I, like, stop. That's what it comes down to. Dude, it does go on sale a lot. A lot. But that's probably, like, one of the games that gave me the best value for my money was The Witcher 3 Complete Edition. In terms of story, like, I legit cried when the game was over. When I finished Blood and Wine. Because it was just such like, I'm not going to spoil the ending for anybody because I don't know if you guys ever intend to play the game or play through the expansion. But it was just such a complete ending, and it felt like that feeling that you get when you read a really, really good book and you finish the series completely. And like all the knots are tied. Everything crazy that happened. And it just gives you that cathartic feeling like you're free to go, and like it just like emotionally traumatizes you because you don't know what to do with your life from there. Picked it up on sale on Steam. Yeah, dude. It's a good title. It's a good title. It's a good game. I need to play it again. I need to do a fresh playthrough though. And I probably need to play it differently. Like, no joke, I went, I think the difficulty level is basically just normal. I think it's like story and broken bones or something, I don't know. But it's not like a really hard difficulty, right? And I basically just invested all of my abilities into quick attacks and just spammed quick attacks to beat the game. Almost 100%ed Vampire Survivor. That's another one that I do want to pick up because it looks like a lot of fun. And like I've watched it played, but I don't know. Just the whole gameplay loop seems like a lot of fun. It's basically Hyrule Warriors. Yep. I think Chris picked Hyrule Warriors up for Wii U. I think our brother-in-law had it for Wii U. Just so stupidly simple, my god. Yeah, dude, I mean, if the gameplay loop, it works, it works. I think that's something important that people are showcasing in terms of game design lately, especially. It's like you can have just like a cheap Steam game come out and like totally take over the internet because it's fun. And people see like someone streaming it, they see someone else playing it, and they're just having fun, you know? And I think the fun outweighs, in many cases, like the graphical weight of some of the more modern titles. Get people back to basics. Yeah, and like the ability to have stuff like get out there and reach people is just so much more now, especially in the indie game market, than it is ever before, I think. Because it's like you have people looking for that are like looking for simplicity, and they're looking for just when games were good, you know? Like I straight up so I got into emulation recently. All of games that I own and legal ROMs that I have obtained legally 100%. Let the record show. And I started playing Final Fantasy 1 for like the first time in, I don't know, it has to be like 14 years, right? And holy crap, man. That game hit me right in the cerebellum. Right in the nostalgia coil. And like that game held up. Like it was just as I thought that I'd be looking through rose-tinted glasses a little bit too much. And that like I've had that happen where I've gone back to a game and I've been like kind of struggling with it. Jade Empire was one of those ones that I played on original Xbox, and it was a BioWare RPG that was set in like the Chinese mythos. Progo, welcome to the stream, dude. We're talking about Vampire Survivor, retro games, and nostalgia. But I had like a massive amount of nostalgia for Jade Empire. And then I bought it on like the backwards compatible Xbox store or something on my 360. And I tried playing it and I'm like, man, this thing is just so clunky. But I didn't remember the clunkiness. All I remembered was like the story and like teenage me being like stuck in his room all day playing Jade Empire. Going through the quests and exploring every corner of the map, you know? But with Final Fantasy 1, like, I definitely didn't feel that at all. It was kind of refreshing because it's one of those games where it doesn't, like, lead you around by the nose. Like, if you look around enough, you'll get, like, some quest dialogue, like a breadcrumb from an NPC telling you what to do, kind of. But it doesn't really explain it, and, like, you kind of have to figure it out. And that was really strange for me. Because I'm just so used to having, like, a guide or pulling up a guide immediately. Or having something that, like, kind of spells it out a little bit more in the modern game design. But Wii U is loaded with indie games. Metroidvania games, but this feels a little different. Yeah, dude, that's kind of what I was picking up from it. I think that it would be a lot of fun. I'll have to check it out. I'll have to download it, for sure. And I know that, like, I'm sure, like, my son would get a huge kick out of it, too. Exactly how good indie games work. Yeah, they know what's up, because they have to focus on those things because they're not getting like the AAA graphics to wow people and distract people, you know. Tosses you in, you figure out how to merge and max out weapons. It's sick. Yeah, dude. We're talking about Vampire Survivor. I was talking about Final Fantasy 1. The first Final Fantasy, and we were talking about, I was talking about Jade Empire for Xbox. Kind of mix of like 3 or 4 games. But all in the discussion of nostalgia and what makes a game good and what makes a game stand the test of time. Another one that I did enjoy quite a bit was I came back to Fable. The first Fable with the original, like the DLC pack. Man, dude, that I had such a blast in that. And it's not like it's something that I would play every night, right? It's not like it's something that I would play like for weeks at a time. Yeah, in some sense it's more fun after you finish it. But dude, for like a weekend, I was having like the time of my life going back through that game and like visiting all the old cities and getting like the abilities again. I was so happy. Never played it, might have to play them. Should I? I would definitely, I mean, if you like old school turn-based RPGs, Final Fantasy is a great way to go, regardless of which title that you pick. You can pretty much go 1 through 7, 1 through 10, and not go wrong. I haven't played any of the titles past 10-2, but I'd love to play them sometime because like I do play a lot of Final Fantasy 14 or have played a lot of Final Fantasy 14. Fable, I definitely think is a great RPG regardless of time. It holds up to the test of time. Vampire Survivor has kind of been a newer title that came out on Steam. A lot of fun if you're into like retro styled games at all. Even if you're not, I think it's kind of a cool gameplay loop. Yeah, the only one that I wouldn't wholeheartedly recommend to everybody is Jade Empire that we talked about so far. Why are you sad, Progo? I'm one of the rare few that never understood the fixation with Faxinadu. Enlighten me, I'm not sure, I'm not familiar with that term. Don't remember my name. I'm terrible with names, so don't take it personally whatsoever. But you can feel free to tell me again, and I will remember it for the remainder of the stream. Yeah, I'm like 100% more of a faces person. Like I can, it's super annoying because it creates this paradox where like we'll be watching a movie or I'll be watching a TV show, and I'll be like, "Isn't that?" And I can never remember the name. But I'm like, I'll start trying to list off movies that I think that person's been in, and my wife is just slowly thinking that I'm insane, and she's like, every time that I keep going, like, she's just like, just shut up and watch the movie, dude. just shut up and watch the movie. No, it is not that girl. It is not that dude. They're not the same person. You need to stop. And I'll just keep going because like my brain is like struggling to compute, right? Like we were watching some type of thriller movie the other night. I'm like, but isn't that the girl from Castle Rock? Isn't that like Little Love? She says Little Love all the time, and she's like, what are you talking about? No, it's not the same person. I'm like, oh, okay. So like I pull up IMDb and I'm like Googling the names. I'm trying to figure out who the actress is. And then like I look at it and it's not even the same person. And I'm like, oh, but like their eyes, I'm trying to like recoup it. I'm like, but their eyes look really similar, and like they got the same chin structure, and that's why they have a similar haircut. Yeah. At that point, you literally research on the spot. That's what I'm forced to do, but it doesn't help me at all. Like, it just makes me seem dumber. Like, yeah, it's just like I'm just proving myself wrong, and my wife's just sitting over there trying to enjoy the movie in peace. Like, can you just shut up? What does it matter? And it's just like I go crazy, dude. I can't figure it out, and like my brain just sticks on it. Like it's so obnoxious, but like I can't get off of it. But then there are a few times there's like a shiny chance of me getting it right obscurely, and like that has happened. Like the one time, like I got a shiny Winona Ryder or something, you know, where I'm like, that is the person that played the extra in Ghostbusters 2. And my wife's like, what? And I'm like, they were in the scene, they were eating a hot dog, and it's Winona Ryder. No, it's not, but you know what I mean. Like, I get the person right once in like 8,192 times. And that's essentially what it is. That's all it comes down to. It matters. It matters. No, but like I literally can't stop talking until I figure it out, or if like I can't enjoy the movie until like I get through that loop of like, who is that person? I've seen them before. My brain has seen that face before. I mean, it's worse when you have like I don't know. There's so many actresses and actors that just look the same. Yeah, and like I mean, like Zooey Deschanel, Katy Perry, like they look like twins or whatever, and like that's just a bad time. But there's like 1,000 actresses that are like that exactly. There's a bunch of actors. I don't know offhand. Like all the Franco brothers look alike, right? Like literally me, it just happened to me yesterday. I confused Julia Roberts with Gina Davis. Wait. What? Gina Davis. You confused Julia Roberts with her? What? I mean, Julia Roberts isn't looking that young these days, but oh, just the names. Okay, got it. So your names, not faces. I'm faces, not names. Got it. This is nostalgia. Sure is. Julia Roberts is all the nostalgia. No, and you're probably talking about the music, Progo. Oh, okay, got it. You thought the names were swapped. Okay. Yeah, no, I unintentionally swapped the names, and like, but the faces is what gets me. The faces is what confuses me more than anything. And they're all alike. They all alike. Let's be honest, they're all alike. I think that there was something with like Margot Robbie or something when they like showed 4 or 5 different actresses, and like one's like some Swedish actress and one's some other girl, but they literally all look the same. And I'm like, I legit, it said something along the lines of Hollywood out here trying to convince me that this is not just one person. And like, I remember doing the face thing with each of them and thinking it was just all Margot Robbie or whatever. Harley. She played Harley Quinn in.
Literally don't have to explain.
Yeah, she played Harley Quinn. Anything Baldwin brothers? Yep, they all look alike. I can't really like the Baldwins are, and granted, again, terrible with names, but like I can't really recall anything other than 30 Rock that any Baldwin has been in. And I don't know if that's just like my brain just like dropping frames or what, but yeah, that's really weird to me, dude. What was really strange, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but there's a thriller movie that Russell Crowe is in, where he plays like an insane like road rage dude. And like, I don't know, but my brain had the hardest time thinking that that was Russell Crowe. Because he's like 50, he looks kind of like my dad, you know? Yeah, Jeffrey Dean Morgan and Javier Bardem. Those dudes are clones of each other. Let's be honest here. But like I randomly threw on this thriller movie. I don't remember what it's called, but it's about road rage. If you search Russell Crowe road rage movie, it'll pop up. It's on Netflix. I think it's on Amazon Prime. It's on all the streaming services, right? Is your brain telling you to stay away? Probably. Aspen, welcome to the stream. We are talking about how bad my brain is at recognizing faces and not names. But I was having the hardest time with Russell Crowe in that movie because he just looks like an old dude that's gained weight, you know? And like Russell Crowe like somehow is immortalized in my mind as Gladiator. And then like it doesn't help that like of that same cloth, like I think of Wolverine, Hugh Jackman, and like I mean like kind of similar dudes, and like Hugh Jackman's kind of kept himself in good shape, you know? But then like seeing Russell Crowe as like this crazy weird like stalker dude, it was just really bizarre for me. Oh, Sam actually had problems with both names and faces. Yeah, I remember faces, I do not remember names. Robert Downey Jr., is that right? Yeah, I mean, Robert Downey Jr. looks pretty close to those guys too. So far, only one shiny on the stream tonight, Aspen. We've got a Hippopotas. Hip Hop Anonymous. Oh, I hadn't... Yeah, you're talking Tropic Thunder. Robert Downey Jr. was in Tropic Thunder. Dude, what really trips me out is like watching a random movie from like the 90s and seeing like young Robert Downey Jr. just play like himself. But like young. Like he's just as like weird and like snarky and just, I don't know, almost like borderline insufferable with his mannerisms and how he delivers his lines. But he kind of just like, I don't know, like actors tend to play almost like the same person in a lot of their roles, or they you pick up on like their mannerisms and quirks that they kind of just like assimilate and apply to how they deliver lines and how they speak. And like you can totally look back to his early movies as just like a, I don't know, like a 20-year-old kid or whatever. And like the way he's delivering his lines is identical to Tony Stark in Avengers. Hippopotas is a pretty cool Pokemon. I like saying the name more than I like the Pokemon, but hey. They're interesting nonetheless. Iconic actors play the same person. Yeah. Like, I think they get to a point where they've gone through all the roles and trying to like find themselves, and they kind of just find what works for delivery.
Like,
I don't know. I think that like there's not enough no, I think that like, and maybe this is a too much of a broad generalization, but I think that like a lot of them that were like grinding out acting gigs when they were younger probably were trying pretty hard to find out like what works for them as an actor, you know what I mean? And then they come to those realizations of like, oh, if I just say it this way, or if I just add this inflection, or if I just change my voice, or I don't know, they have like their tells, you know? And it's even more subtle. Like, we were watching, what was it? The Paradise movie, like Palm Springs or something. Palm Springs. Yeah, it had a girl, and I can't remember her name, but it had Andrew Samberg. And like, I mean, Andrew Samberg just plays the same dude every single movie, right? But the girl in it was also in Death to 2020 and Death to 2021, and she plays completely different people in it. Like, she plays this kind of like Karen-y, entitled, like just terrible person in the mockumentaries, but she delivers her lines the same way. So it was really messing with my head, because in the other movie, she just kind of plays like a regular kind of crappy person, you know, not like a terrible person, just like a crappy person. Yeah, like, but she still was delivering lines the same way, and like her mannerisms were the same, and how she would do this thing where she'd scoff, and like she'd have this really particular like kind of like a condescending scoff, and it just threw me in a loop because it kept like bridging the gap between the two. I kept thinking to the mockumentary, but then this is like a weird rom-com about time travel. Dude, you got your pickups in the Strandy. Nice, Sam. It probably sounds really good. Shiny Hippowdon is sick. I think Shiny Hippowdon's cool because it's one of those Pokemon that just confuses people with it being multiple different colors normal. And that's just funny to me. My partner always gets upset with me because they'll say, oh, actor name did this thing, and you like that actor, right? And I'm like, who? They'll show me a photo and I'll be like, yeah, who? What movie were they in? And they'll say the movie and I'm like, oh, that guy. Yeah, my wife's watching and she's like, that sounds like her. And yeah, she's definitely that way. I will remember the face and go crazy trying to remember what that person's name is. She just doesn't. She doesn't remember either. But we love her. Sounds so beautiful. I put my safety 4 in my Edwards, and it also sounds beautiful. I'm very happy with it. I was kind of like weirded out because I don't know if it was like my ears were fatigued or something, but like every rig that I would play in other than the katana sounded like I didn't have enough brightness, and like I was losing top end. And like my preamps and my pedal board, I had like the treble maxed on those. Sounded weird. I had it running through like my I have a little 1 watt head back there with an 8-inch speaker. Sounded really weird. And then I ran it through my 212. Sounded really weird. And I was like, what is going on? And then I ran it through the katana. It sounded perfectly fine. The height's fine. Yeah, the height's good. It was literally like I ended up just putting it away after playing it through the katana and just playing a lot. And then I came back, same rig, plugged in the 1 watt. I think it was because I was playing at different points in the room and wasn't getting like a good... just like if you move a mic around, right? It sounds like way more bassy. But I was like trying to maneuver around the room and wasn't like hearing the speaker fully, you know what I mean? I think that's what I did, what it was. And I was just like hyper fixating and obsessing over it, and probably then cranked the amp too loud as a result. And then like my hearing wasn't picking up what it needed to. Maybe I'm just getting old, who knows?
That is exactly.
Shout out to also having the weird trait of nicknaming your favorite actors to remember them better. Call one of them the house guy. the voice actor for Hootie. Yeah, that's my wife. Funny enough, like I was. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But that extends to like normal people too. Um, I don't know. I was reading a book of it was an autobiography of Alexi Lejo, and he was talking that like him and his wife had there was like some movie that they watched in the 90s together, but they just referred to the actor as the eyebrows guy. And I guess apparently they accidentally ran into the actor on the street. And or one of them did. And like they texted the other one and they're like, "Dude, you have no idea who I just met. I met the eyebrows guy." And neither of them knew his actual name. They just knew him as the eyebrows guy. And they actually got like a picture with him and had him autograph like something for them. And they were just stoked they met the eyebrows guy. I had that with mine a little bit, and it really was mixing settings with my strap presets to some new ones. Yeah, I mean, like, I think I was worried that, like, one of the things I was worried about was that, that, like, all of my settings on my pedal board were more set towards my keysole, and that had, like, super, super bright pickups. But even, like, playing around with all my OD settings and whatnot, it didn't really change much. But I came back the next day, slapped my limited edition SD1 in front of my 1 watt tube amp, and it sounded great. So I'm gonna run with it. 100% me and Siggy. Birds of a feather. We are in the same boat. I think the difference is that, like, my wife genuinely doesn't really care. And, like, I'm the one who gets, like, worked up about that stuff and, like, can't just sit still and enjoy the movie. Like, it'll bug her a little bit, but, like, as a whole, she's just like, just shut up and watch the movie.
I'm so used to forgetting everything that I'm just like, you know what? I don't really care. Whatever.
Yeah, she's got a limited bandwidth of things she has to care about forgetting.
Yep.
And, like, actors' names and who they are is not one of them. She's like, doesn't matter? Is this movie good? I don't care if they were in that movie. Is this movie good? I don't know, because you can't stop talking. If you shut up a little, maybe we'd find out.
Oh my gosh.
She's laughing because I got her pegged. I got your number, you see? I don't have great attention span for live action movies, and I personally find them kind of boring, so I'm all over the place with those. But as soon as some animated stuff is on, I'm like glued. Yeah, I don't... Yeah, my wife, I mean, I don't know if you guys just heard that, but like, she's very particular. It has to be something she actually cares about or is interested in. I will typically give like most things a go. And like, I don't know, like I go through... Yeah.
You give a good try.
I think I genuinely will try things out and experiment. Like, I don't know, there was a week where I watched nothing but movies with lighthouses in them. And it was like, I watched one...
Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, yeah. There's, I don't know what it's, I can't remember what it's called. Is it literally The Lighthouse? Yeah, it was The Lighthouse with Robert Pattinson and Willem Dafoe. And it was like, hands down, one of the weirdest movies I've ever seen in my life. But it's like a black and white movie. And then there was another one that was like kind of the same gig. And like, I mean, they could have been sequels. They could have literally happened like an island away from each other. They were all on Amazon Prime. And like, I don't know, that was just my thing, is like seafaring lighthouse movies. Which you wouldn't think there'd be like a lot of them, but there was enough of them to get me through like a week. Like, I can't tell you what the names were. Other than The Lighthouse. But I get hypercritical. I just criticize everything and then lose interest. I'm bad. I mean, I do that with some movies too, for sure. Where it's like, I just am sitting there like making stupid jokes or being like, yeah, I do ruin them. And like, I do the same, like, you do a callback joke, but it's not a callback joke because you literally say it every 10 seconds. It's it's just you going on and making the same dumb joke repeatedly every single time that character's on the screen. That's me. I do like documentaries. Documentaries are cool. That's the only live action movie I've ever sat down and watched attentively. The Lighthouse was so interesting. It was weird, man. I wasn't prepared for how weird it was because I think the last Lighthouse movie that I had seen, it didn't have anything to do with creatures. It was just dudes being crazy or something, you know? Yeah, it was just like dudes going crazy and murdering each other. So like half the movie you think that that's what's going to happen with the Lighthouse, but no. It's like a creature feature, man. It's wacky. Yeah, I would say it's good. I enjoyed it. It's weird, but it's good. Me and my partner watch bad stuff and criticize it for fun. It's kind of what we do every other night on our calls together. Yeah, I mean we've bonded over like a ton of really terrible movies. Yeah. One of the worst movies that we ever watched that's super near and dear to us is a movie called Cradle of Fear, and I don't recommend any of you guys ever watch it ever, but it was... Yeah, if anyone ever does watch that movie, it is very mature, and it's basically a slasher movie, right? But it was made with the vocalist of Cradle of Filth, which was a band that we both listened to when we were teenagers, and were like way angstier than we are now. Yeah, we were edgelords back in the day. And it was like one of those movies that was created solely for him to star in and get a big ego from because he's in a horror movie and like he's in a I don't know what you would call it, like a goth metal band or something, and is like obsessed with horror movies. And it's just the worst movie you could ever think of. The worst CGI effects, the worst like actual like blood effects, the worst everything, right? But because it's so bad, it has a charm of its own. And we have watched it several times, like on our anniversaries and whatnot, just to go back and remember how ridiculous it was. We were watching it through YouTube together online, and we were trying to keep pace with each other, but I think I was a little bit ahead of her. Yeah, my computer was faster, that was it. So like I was preloading the movie and buffering it a little bit quicker, and so I'd have to like wait for her to be done. I'm like, okay, you done with part 15? Okay, here's the next 10 minutes, and I'd like send her a link for it. Yeah, it was like 30 parts of this like hour-and-a-half long movie.
YouTube could only host like a maximum of like...
Yeah, they couldn't do long videos back then. But it was so interesting, like that was what we bonded over, and it was just like the dumbest horror movie, slasher movie you could think of. They're musicians in a movie, bet I'm watching every detail. Yeah, but then you also get disappointed because they're like not real musicians, right? Guy's 4 feet tall. He needs the ego. Yeah. Little man syndrome for sure. Got those like 8-inch platform boots. I grew up in the early 2000s, so it was peak emo as a tween. The edge was too real. I mean, we were teenagers in that time frame, so like, well, we were similar in that regard. Yeah. The minus slasher fix are fun to criticize, honestly. Yeah, because like there's a level of like not giving a flying you know what in slasher movies where like you don't have to have a strong story. It's like borderline like adult entertainment in the sense that like the plot does not matter, the cast does not matter. How things happen does not have to make any sense whatsoever. It's just one point to another, someone's going to get killed, and like that's what it comes down to with slasher movies. Like it doesn't, none of it matters, right?
Who's going to get killed and how?
Yeah, that's as simple as it gets. If you ever want to watch a movie that will absolutely make you say WTF, it's just oddly satisfying. One of my faves. It's a French movie called Fantastic Planet. It's animated, but not toony. I may look into that. Those kinds of slasher fix are essentially the Family Guy of horror. Yeah, I think that's a good way of putting it. I'd say that's fair. But they're like so common. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. And I can't say it's any different for like any of the big names, you know? It's like not, it's not like, I mean, like there's like been like some like more serious like Texas Chainsaw or whatever, but it's like they all kind of follow the same format, you know? Yeah, I think that's why they suffer long term. Yeah, I mean, like there's more creepiness, you know? It's not just like, okay, there's just a guy with a knife. Yeah. There's more of like an inescapable feel with Krueger. And that's where like the remakes I feel were actually kind of cool, I don't know. Right. But then when they went like Freddy and Jason in space or whatever, or Jason X or whatever, I was like, yo, I don't know about this play. I don't know about this play, Chief. Yeah, you can tell some of those are made. Got it. Fantastic Planet is what you're talking about. The height of psychedelics. Interesting. I don't know, dude. There's I can't remember rightfully what movie it was, but there's just been some of those films where it's like, it's usually, I think it was one that Sam, you might have known him. Charles back at ELGC days. He recommended a really bizarre movie to me. But it was like an 80s movie that was like low-key like this weird dystopian thing where it was like this kid being brainwashed or something. And it was literally like the weirdest acid trip movie I could ever think of. I don't even remember how I watched it. I think it was on like some random, it wasn't on YouTube, but I want to say it was like on some random free video hosting site. And it probably was sketched the way that I found it or whatever, but like he recommended the movie to me. I watched it one night and I was just literally like, is the couch spinning or is this movie just really weird? It was bizarre. Oh God, no. Nobody has ever heard of it. It's so good. I used to be really into animated movies like Ringing Bell and Watership Down. As a younger person, still watch them for nostalgia from time to time. They're good if you're not squeamish. I mean, like, I'm squeamish in very specific ways. Also, a short 6-minute film by Walt Disney and Salvador Dali is insanely good. Destino? Is that it? Destino? Sanu Tezuka's Metropolis was a very good movie as well. I have not heard of that at all. Why did I just do that? I just gave her berries and I wasn't even going to use them. Interesting with Dali, huh? There was a series that actually I need to get the books for, and I keep forgetting to get the books, but it was I'm pretty sure it was a Russian one. It was some form of Eastern, yes, it was some form of Eastern European movie, but it was Night Watch, Day Watch, and then there was a I think a trilogy. I think the last one was supposed to be called Dawn Watch or something. But Night Watch and Day Watch are like, they're basically like the Russian Matrix, and they're amazing movies. I need to rewatch those, and they're based off of books. I need to get the books for those. Lunch Watch, Night Watch, Day Watch, Lunch Watch, Baywatch, all good sequels. Just 6 minutes long. The blend of their styles is absolutely incredible. I'm sure I'll be able to find that pretty easily then if it's that low, or if it's that short, I should say. Yeah, it's on YouTube. Cool. I will give it a gander. I need to find Night Watch and Day Watch again though. Those are actually movies that I would like to own. It was so good. No, I'm not squeamish about predator-prey situations. I'm really squeamish about like anything with throats being cut. That I cannot do. And anything like arm related, like lacerations get me really bad. If it's like super graphic. Beheading. Yeah, anything like that, like it makes me feel actually really, really nauseous. And then there's like, there was some thriller movie I watched where basically the dude, I'm terrible with names. But it's basically like an older husband and his wife, like kids are out of in college or whatever. These dudes are like middle-aged, past middle-aged, right? It might be. Yes. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so like she thinks that they're going on this retreat to like solve their marriage or whatever, and then he ends up just being like a psycho and that's why their marriage is bad. And she gets like handcuffed to the bed, right? And to like try to save herself and get away from him, she like degloves her hand. And like I didn't know that was a thing until I saw that movie. And like, oh, it makes me shiver just thinking about it. Like, no. Just no. Just no. That type of stuff, like, I can't do that. And anyone who is younger that may be watching this VOD or stream, do not look any of that stuff up. And yeah, just don't. It's a bad time. Yeah, you might want to steer clean. Felly Dalen. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Might be good. And like I can get through it, but I have a hard time. And if it's like a constant thing, I just have to bow out. Like I just have to tap out. I'm not afraid to know when my my limit for that type of thing in movies and horror movies and slasher movies and anything like that has been reached.
I stopped watching Halloween.
Yep. Yeah. I just think like some of that stuff, like I know it's there to shock, and it in some cases does a very surprisingly good job at it. But I feel like there reaches a certain point where some of the depictions are just too real, and then on top of that, like I feel like some movies, I mean especially slashers, right? And some thrillers do this too, where they try to push the envelope just too far for the sake of pushing it too far, and like that being kind of an expectant theme in a lot of movies where it's like, oh, this one has to be way crazier than whatever it's influenced off of, right? And I think that in some cases it just becomes disgusting, and it's like I just don't want to watch that. Yep. Yeah, please, if you're under 18, don't take any of my suggestions to heart. Either I shouldn't have been watching a movie about rabbits being forced. Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, there's a lot of messed up stuff on the internet. Yep, Fern Gully was pretty bad. Heading off to bed. Have a good night, Luke and wifey. Good night, chat. Have a good one, Sam. Thank you for popping in, dude. Hope that you have a great day tomorrow. Whoa, that's a shiny. I do not have a shiny Cascoon. That's actually really dope. And the fact that it just popped up like right as we're doing this. Thank you. Yeah, it's super green. I still want to get an alpha. I saw that Switch Fox, she's been alpha hunting like mad. And she saw me get an alpha Silcoon, then she got a Silcoon. She recently got the alpha Dustox, and so it's like I need to follow that for sure. But I'll take this as a first dex entry Absolutely. Finally. Shiny hype in the chat. This stream has been, I mean, despite me hunting a lot of just regular outbreaks too, this has been kind of barren, surprisingly. But hey, last 30 minutes is where it peaks. And we are vastly approaching the last 30 minutes of the stream. I'll probably be dropping it in the next 20 for the night. So as I say that, the luck's gonna return. That's how it works. Just trying to catch these in case there's like another one behind it. Because if I'm gonna sit there and take screenshots of one, I want to make sure that there's not a second one right here too. And I do kind of need the grit gravel, not gonna lie. Look at that. We got a nice little border because I'm dying to these guys. Oh, perfect. Like, yeah, go in the flowers, dude. Look at me. Come on. So he's like so dark and shaded though. Okay, that's good. Just pulled a shine myself. Let's get some more. Let's do it, Fisher. You and me. Last 30 of the stream is where we get them. Toxic Waste character in Fern Gully. And that changed to Toxic Love, Tim Curry. Look at that green ball. Do we name him Toxic Waste? What are we naming this guy? Are we naming him Tim Curry? And we've completed another box of shinies, eh? I mean, you guys suggest the names here. I'm not opposed. Tim Curry? Is that what we're going with? It's a girl, if that changes anything. Tim Karen? Toxic? We'll name this one Tim Curry. We can name the Hippopotamus Tim Curry. Toxic Tim. Or just Tim Curry for this one. Tiny Toxic Tim. It's just getting longer and longer. We'll run out of characters. So no, here's what we're gonna do. This one's Tim Curry. This one's Toxic. The next one will be Love, right? So it's Tim Curry Toxic Love. Right? Right? I think that makes sense. First Dex entry on Cascoon. I have all the other ones, but not Dustox or Cascoon. You know what? Okay, I'll take it. I concede. Okay, we gotta get one more shiny. It's gotta happen. At least one more. Put 20 to 30 minutes on the clock. Here we go, Paris. You're gonna be our love. Our red boy. Gotta be a poison type. Well, Paris is on the clock here. We're working on Paris time. Watch it happen. You saw it here first. Smoxthy is in the chat. Welcome to the stream, Smoxthy. Bwah. I hope that you're having a buen night. A wonderful night. Must be the most inappropriate name for it. You guys are wildin'. The most inappropriate name I can think of is Tim. Sounds pretty inappropriate to me. How many Tims do you know? I don't know how I feel about finding love. I'm engaged already. Hey, you find it when you least expect it, right? My wife is like, no. What are you saying? I didn't know that I would find it online when I was 16 years old. If you guys could see her face right now, it'd make a lot more sense. She's got a lot of things that she's thinking of saying. A lot of things. Love must look like they'll trade us for a corn chip. I mean, we already were hunting Paris, and it didn't shine, so I don't know what other Pokemon fits that description. Silcoon? Let's get a Silcoon. I was gonna trade Paris for a corn chip, but that's just because I'm hungry. Paris had failed us. I mean, like, depending on the mushrooms, like, it's like lobster and mushroom, like, together, you know? Might be just good enough, better to keep it and eat it, you know? I mean, it's poisonous, but hey. Yeah, I don't know. It's undeserving. Yeah, maybe you take the mushrooms off and you can eat it. Put it in a boiling pot, it's screaming. It doesn't like it, you know? Boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew. Potatoes, potatoes, potatoes. If it's not us, it's you. Exactly. It's not working out, Paris. We have to go our separate ways. It won't even shine for us. Too selfish. Potatoes in the chat. Boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew. I mean, that doesn't surprise anybody. I think a lot of people live off potatoes. It's okay. I mean, think of like one food that is as versatile in terms of how many different dishes and accents and ways that you can cook it. Like, I don't know, maybe eggs? Maybe eggs. But like potatoes are just ground eggs, so they're just eggs that grow in the ground. They're starch eggs that grow in the ground. Or it's just whispering about tater tots in the corner, in the dark corner of the room.
This is the brightest corner of the room.
Not me living off McDonald's french fries and instant mashed potatoes from the dollar store. Exactly. We've all been there. I know you ate tater tots for a month. No, I would agree. I don't think that's how eggs work. I mean, you've never seen... Maybe there's potato chickens, I don't know.
Did I completely forget something that you said?
Yes, you did.
Well, I'm so...
You just plant them in the ground and they hatch into french fries and baked potatoes. There's one time in my life where I was almost homeless. All I did eat was canned chicken for a month. You have seen some things, my friend. I'm glad you are in seemingly better places. We've all been in the canned chicken phase. Hey man, I'm back. My name is Still, said Hi Mister. Welcome, Ty Mister. Glad you're here, man. We are wrapping things up for the night. Trying to get our last shiny. Trying to get at least one more. Hopefully, with any luck, we'll get it soon. How is your night going, Ty Mister?
You know what? That's pretty horrible. I think I'd rather eat a fish and
I can't say that I've ever had canned chicken. So maybe my canned chicken phase is still coming. Maybe I'm not, I haven't peaked to my canned chicken phase yet. It might be around the corner. I've had soup phases where like all I've eaten is Campbell's soup. I was in a Hot Pocket and Nutri-Grain bars phase. I've been there. I mean, everybody's had a ramen phase.
you were
Um, I'm glad to hear that, Aspen. I'm glad to hear that despite those rough times, you were able to pull through. I feel that like those types of things end up giving some pretty valuable perspective on the world. So, I don't know. Maybe you feel the same. I only just found out Pokemon Go April Community Day, and it's Alolan Geo, dude. My night is going good. I finished my Rowlet resets at 670 in Pokemon Ultra Sun. So you got... Are you just... You're only doing 670 resets for the day, or did you get the shiny? But yeah, Alolan Geo, dude, is actually... I'm okay with it. Would I wish it was something else? Yes. But I'm okay with it. I like it better than Stuffle. It's not like we're getting Picky Peck Community Day. It's not like as bad as what was it? Names. Fletchinder. I really didn't like Fletchinder Community Day. Other than Pidgey. Pidgey Community Day would be hyped, dude. Yeah. I'd be stoked for Pidgey Community Day.
I still don't have one.
Still lots of rough times ahead, but my family and I are still out here surviving. That's all I can ask for. Hey, dude. I get it. Hopefully things look up for you and yours. And sending whatever positive vibes I can your way. No, I had to stop there because I started at 500. Got it. Are you in your... I mean, obviously it's a starter reset, so them's be full odds, like 1 in 4,096 too. Hopefully you get it soon, man. I've had some hunts that got really lucky early on, and some that took a little bit of love when we're talking full odds. I like Stuffle and Beware, but I hate Beware's mouth. Yeah, Beware's mouth is weird. Why does it open like that? It's like a Muppet. It's like a sock puppet or something. Landorus Therian Forum is in raids today. Maybe I'll do a few. I mean, I have a few raid passes. I got the last shiny weathered person. I think it's Thundurus. I got Thundurus really quick. It means a lot. I'm working towards getting a place with my partner. Making lots of progress. So I think that's... So things are bright now. Yeah, like, I am a big proponent of that because, like, my wife and I have been through a lot of different living situations as we grew up and had a family at a really young age. Like, we lived with family. We finally got enough to get our own apartment. And, like, when you have a space that's wholly yours, I think it has probably the largest profound impact on your mental health in terms of a positive... just a positive, you know, a positive home base, so to speak. It just removes a lot of stress. Like, since we've owned a house, in some cases it's added a lot of stress. But as a whole, you know, like, when I first came out to this glorious state that we're in, I didn't really have like a solid living sitch, and was kind of couch surfing and not in the best company. And yeah, I definitely came from those situations with a different perspective on everything, and like a greater appreciation for the things that I do have now. Absolutely. It's worse than a Muppet. Yeah, I would say it is. I don't know. I think Machop was really creepy in Coliseum. It's like submarine torpedo hatch. Yeah, it's like what do you put? I don't even want to ask the question. Yeah, I don't know. Beware's not good news. It's bad news. Beware's. We definitely did, and we're still working, still out here striving. We have a lot of goals that we want to do together, and as like we get older and our kids are more self-sufficient and older, we're looking forward to finally getting to a point where we can kind of transition into reclaiming our younger years in this. Yeah, reclaiming our 20s that we didn't get to really do much with because we had babies, and we're mostly just homebodies. So like we're looking forward to like traveling, and not like going crazy, but just doing things independently as adults, married adults in our middle ages. Want to go and travel and such. Maybe build a few tiny homes. Go to festivals. Stuff like that. Hey, if it's possible, yeah. It's still, if it stays affordable. They would have a few cabins out in places. Preset destinations. I've never really done much with my life. Always focus on my art, my stories. I'm really glad that I spent my years honing my craft, though. If I didn't, probably not be here today. Hey, like, that stuff has, like, a really profound way of helping people deal with stress and mental health. Like, I play guitar and bass, and that's definitely helped me out in some rough times, for sure. So I can definitely relate. And like, I think like I'm a bit a ways, not like ancient older. I'm 30, right? You still got like plenty of time being 24 too. And I think that that's a good age to be like figuring stuff out, you know? There's definitely nothing wrong with that. Like I know I've known people before where they felt like really down for not having like a really clear trajectory when they're like post 20, but it's like, yo, like most people are like barely figuring out how to be an adult when they're 20, you know? Or like young 20. I feel like I barely like have figured out who I am as a person at 30, you know? Yeah. Yeah. It's just how it all plays out. No Grovile or Grottle. Grovile, Grottle, that's like basically the same name. I know. It's weird because it's like Trico's not in it, but then it's like the Gen 2 names are just so similar between the two. They're both grass types that it's like I use them interchangeably. Bad with names again. Absolutely, I'm still figuring out who I am. Still experimenting and learning what I enjoy and what I don't enjoy. And what I do and don't relate to. Exactly. And like, it was really bizarre for me because I always had people assuming that I was like way, way older because of the kids thing. And also just like, I feel like mentally, I felt a lot older than I was, right? And so when I was at my job, I got into like my original job that I got when I came out here. I got into like the management ropes pretty quickly because I was like dependable and competent and like a good people person. And I mean, that's kind of what I'm doing, what I am here, right? But I had this dude that was like more or less my mentor, and he kept telling me like he was always taken aback by my real age, and he didn't believe me a lot. He's like, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, you don't. It's like he was looking back at where he was when he was a similar age, and like it's like you're doing pretty good for yourself. But then when he found out that I was turning 30, he's like, oh, okay, man, 30 is gonna be like the time when you just have your stuff figured out, right? You've ironed out the kinks, you know enough about yourself, you know enough about everything around you. And like I kind of discredited him a little bit because I'm like, well, what have you been telling me this whole time? Like, assuming that I'm older, right? Was that all just like BS, you know? But then I hit 30, and like it's weird because like hitting other ages didn't really seem to do much. But maybe it's just a combination of like me hitting 30 over the course of the last year or last years and just everything that's happened and how incredulous it all has been and just how like much strife and stress is in the world. But like I felt like I came out of all of that like having a lot more understanding of who I am as a person and what I value and what I'm thankful for. And like I did kind of have a sense of not like enlightenment, because that sounds kind of like, I don't know, sounds like kind of like ego or I don't know, self-grandizing or something. But I did feel like I had a better sense of me, and I kind of like looked back at that conversation in a different way, and like it made sense in a certain way. So yeah, I don't know. It's a ramble. When I was still identifying as my assigned birth gender, I was always told I looked and came off as older. I came out mask MB, and I'm 5'2". So when I'm out, everyone's like, WTF, so small. Got it. Interesting. So you've had a much different path of self-discovery by far. But I think like it's really a good thing that you're still learning about yourself, right? And still working that out. I mean, it's in a certain sense a never-ending journey, but I think like sharing experiences like that is really crucial to keeping things in perspective. And like I think like a lot of people have a tendency to compare and like contrast and get down about certain things when it comes to that. And it's like, it's not a competition, you know? Everyone's got a different path and different struggles that they're going through and different things that they're trying to come to terms with. And you can't put like a set timetable on that. Like we're all just people doing the best with what we've got and the situations that are thrown at us in a certain sense. But that being said, I am a firm believer in wishing people positive self-growth and about like truly caring for other people. And so I'm glad to hear that things are okay. And I hope they continue on an upward trajectory for you. Absolutely, 100% Aspen. One more, come on. Experience may define you, but they are unique. You take an entirely different path than someone who is the nearly the same as you in almost every way. Comparing that is just not effective. Yeah, precisely. Precisely. I think that, like, a lot of times, too, people have a tendency, like, an over tendency to do that. And I think that, like, not to get ranty or anything. I mean, I'm already kind of ranting, right? But, like, I think that, like, social media has a lot of negative consequences of that. It's something that, like, I've been really careful with. And even, I mean, even doing, like YouTube to a certain degree, there's aspects of that for sure when it comes to being like, oh, like, I don't know, like me who is more or less just starting out versus like someone who's been at the grind for a few years. But I try to look at that comparatively as just like, there's obviously a difference of time that's just not fair to make those comparisons with. And in like the event of social media, where like a lot of people would be like, oh, this person has such a majestic life, I think that we're shown like too many scenarios in which that's just not true. And it's always like, if you can frame it in the context of it being illusionary or like played up for that effect, that like that contextualizes it a little bit more. Tony is in the chat, dude. Welcome to the stream. We are chugging along. I initially said I would stop streaming 30 minutes ago, but I want to get at least one more shiny before we end things, so I'm keeping along with it. We're gonna see what we can get. I'd like to get one more before we close things out for tonight. Thank you for being here, man. How are you doing? It's been a minute. We got a shiny Hippopotas and a shiny Cascoon. Hoping we can find one more, but just chilling, vibing. Had a crazy weekend. Didn't get a whole lot of time to do other stuff, but had a good time at the concert that I went to. Did some yard work today. That's about as exciting as it gets. We're always looking to show the best parts of ourselves as humans, and social media amplifies that. Key is to remember that everyone has one side they never let their followers see. Oh yeah, absolutely. 100%. There's an inherent duality in who we all are as people. No one's pure good. No one's purely bad. I mean, like, there's some really gnarly individuals out there, right? But like, I think that a better way of saying it is everyone has the potential for good and everyone has the potential for bad. And seeing it just in a linear fashion isn't helpful to anybody. In either respect. Because that's just not how people work. It's just not how humans work. We are looking for love. Looking for love in all the wrong places. Looking for love. Can't get a shiny hippo to save my life. Shiny hunting the alpha Gardevoir, Crobat, and then Gallade. So are you doing the reset method for Gardevoir then? I do have those hunts like lined up too, so if you want to race it, we can race it sometime for Crobat or Gallade. Multitasking Tony. Are you saying that you're going for all three simultaneously? I am I believe that social media is ruining the world. I absolutely think that like it's definitely having more of a net negative effect than a positive one in a lot of ways. But on the same spectrum, like I used to be a firm believer that it was only a negative, but then like I'm connecting with all of you guys right now via social media platform. I've met like a lot of really great people too through Instagram and like, so like I think that it has like a lot of potential for negative, and as a whole probably provides more negative than positive. But I have been affirmed by some like really positive experiences too. And I try to hold those and keep those as more of a focus, because like without social media, I wouldn't be chatting with any of you guys right now. And I actually do enjoy spending my nights chatting with you guys and hanging out. I did the reset and got the shiny alpha Rhyperior after like 10 minutes. No way, dude. And I'm hunting them in that order. Got it. Yeah, if like, I don't know, if maybe tomorrow's stream, I don't know if you're going to be hunting tomorrow, but if you're hunting tomorrow, I have Crobat and Gallade set up with like top odds. So if you want to do a reset hunt for either of those where we're racing or whatever, that would actually be pretty fun. You could even pop into like Discord voice chat if you wanted to or something. I know like I've gotten some requests from some people on Insta and a few people just from the chat that are like, I would want to shiny race you on certain things, and I'm totally cool with doing that. I think it'd be fun. The static reset is blah. I mean, like, I've never really enjoyed soft resetting. Like, I will do it, and I have been doing it lately for Palkia. I just don't think it's like, if I'm doing soft resetting, I'm always just watching. It's always something I'm doing while watching Netflix or something, you know? So it's like one of those methods that I just do off the side and have off to the side. Or like when I was doing the Totodile resets, I had 4 games between Heart Gold and Soul Silver. I had my Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon going for Palkia. And then I was doing encounters in Eterna Forest for in BDSP while watching Amazon like Prime. So it's like I obviously had like really good odds of getting a shiny, and I ended up getting the Totodile. I ended up getting 2 Baniri in Eterna, did not get the Palkia. So like I have to, if I'm doing like just a pure soft reset hunt, I have to have more than just that going on, you know? It just is not engaging for me at all. For me personally, my experience has been really positive. Even if there are some negatives I've come across. With anything in life, you have to remember nothing will be 100% safe and clean from toxicity. Yeah, and like, I think that comes down to also being like a very good self-advocate and being able to see things for what they are and be able to just like compartmentalize and just move away from it. Like, I spent like a whole lot of time on Reddit, and like for a certain period of time, like I would get really frustrated when like I'd be dealing with someone who is just like, I mean like a Redditor, you know? And like, I would have to just kind of take a step back and just be like, all right, I don't need to engage with this person. Cool. And like back away from it and like just find something else and focus on like a more positive subreddit or experience or thread post, or I don't know. Instagram, I feel is a little bit better in a certain sense, because at least you can filter it out a little bit more easily as to like what you want to do. Like the bulk of my Instagram is, whoa, there we got it. We got love, and it's a poison type. Poison type on the screen. We found it. I saw the sparkles. We got her. Is it a girl? It is a girl. We got love. I just gotta make sure they don't kill me with toxic love. Sorry, I'll finish that thought in a second. We're talking about Instagram, right? But like, I don't know, my Pokemon Instagram, it's just all Pokemon stuff, right? So it's like I'm not really engaging with people outside of just like the Pokemon community there, and that's a-okay. But if you're just talking like Twitter or something, like I don't do Twitter. It's like I don't do Twitter. Twitter's like yelling in the middle of Times Square at random people. Like I don't get it. Toxicity is real. Exactly. This is basically Twitter right here. There's no birds, but plenty of poison. She's a heartbreaker. And like the alpha is like backing her up. Hayden is in the chat. Pretty stoked. Tell me the good news, man. What you got going on? Blake, there was actually someone here that had a shiny Magnemite. I don't remember who it is, though. No joke. Someone was trying to trade one before. I don't know if it was legit, but it was there. Oh, no. Okay, we're just gonna catch this. Not taking shots of it when I'm that low on health. Yeah, it probably was Tony then. Finally hit 1,000 on Insta. Huge milestone for me. Dude, congrats, Hayden. That's awesome, man. Congrats on the milestone, dude. And absolutely here to support you 100% of the way, man. You've supported me a lot, too. Absolutely. All right. Getting rid of all these. We got love. So I'm going to add these to the team RQ. We'll get a team pick. Real quick team pick. We love. Got Tim Curry. We got Toxic. And we got Love. Look at them. That's a pretty cute picture. Love it. This is what it's all about. We got 3 shinies, guys. We found love in a hopeless place. We sure did. The Holy Trinity. I hear it's coming out soon. I heard that they were just kind of hashing out the final details, but the main thing that was holding it back was BDSP, I think. But yeah, I think the update's coming soon. All right, guys. We had a pretty amazing stream tonight. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, Cryptid, for being here for the entirety of this stream, for dropping us lots of fun things to talk about. Some not so fun things that we covered as well. But we were all over tonight. We talked about Gen 1 Pokemon sprites being absolutely nightmare fuel. We talked about movies. We talked about slasher flicks. I feel like this stream had just a whole lot of conversation happening in it tonight. And this like totally recharged my social batteries, and I'm a pretty reclusive guy. So thank you guys for being here. 100%. Thank you so much. I think all of you are subbed. If you happen to be watching the VOD after the fact, please consider subscribing. We are on our way to 151 subs. Once we hit that, we'll be doing a full Gen 1 playthrough of each version of the Kanto experience live on the same screen. I'm really looking forward to doing that. Tomorrow, I will be backing at it with more Legends Arceus shiny hunting. Wednesday, I'm committing right now, and I'm holding myself to it. This dice will get used in my Breath of the Wild streams to absolutely destroy me physically. Anytime I die, I will be rolling the die, the fitness die, to do a workout as punishment. And that's how we're going to be doing the rest of the Breath of the Wild playthroughs from here on onward. So that will be taking place Wednesday. Thursday will be an off day, and then I'll be back doing Pokemon Coliseum for my second part on Friday with the help of my lovely wife, because I keep getting lost in the game and she's played it before. So that will be happening on Friday, and then we'll see where Saturday and Sunday take us. But everybody have a fantastic night. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
This is the